Your Honor, this is case number 175 on the calendar in the matter of Aldridge versus Wynn. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Aldridge, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You claim you loaned him some money. You want it back.
Yes, ma'am.
He says he owes you nothing. When did you make the first loan? What was it for? I mean, if I look a little frustrated, it's just that it seems to me that I see an awful lot of young women standing on that side of the table and young men standing on this side of the table, which suggests to me that women, for some reason, enable men to take advantage of them. Then when the relationship's all over, they want their money back.
Well, when he said he would pay me back. Well, at our
see a lot more women on this side of the table than I see men. Means that they're a lot smarter. And I didn't think so. Go ahead. When was the first loan?
I want to say it was on my first trip to see him in Kentucky.
What do you mean your first trip to see him in Kentucky?
He moved to Kentucky during our relationship.
Didn't that give you a clue?
Well, he said he was mad at Florida and that was his home and he wanted to go back home. So
he was mad at Florida, but he loved you. So he moved back to Kentucky.
Yes. So he moved up there.
Ding-a-ling.
That's what my family's been telling me, but I just didn't listen.
Oh, boy.
So you went back to Kentucky to visit him?
Yes, ma'am, I did. He said he paid my first little plane ticket up there.
Yeah.
And so I went up there. He was going to pay me back when I got to Kentucky, the money for the plane ticket.
How much was the ticket?
The first one was $138.
And you paid for it?
Yes, ma'am. It's in my... I have
$138. Did he ever pay you back?
No, ma'am.
No. But you went again?
Well, yes. I thought he would have a job, and
no, but you went again.
But this time we would go in half because I figured, you know, it's a 50-50 thing, our relationship, so we would go in half. I'm like, well, because he wanted me to come and see him really bad, so he'd pay the first one, and I wanted to see him the second time. So I would say, okay, we'll just pay half.
When was the first time you went to see him? What date?
10/31/01.
And when was the second time?
12/05/01.
Okay. So he paid you nothing of $138 for 2 months, so you went again?
Yes, ma'am.
That's smart. Well, what was his reason for not paying you back in that 2 months, $138?
He can't keep a job longer than 3 weeks.
Then I wouldn't have gone a second time.
Well, he supposedly had a job again.
Then I wouldn't have gone a second time till I got some money, honey. What else?
So I went up there a second time, and he's going to pay half of that ticket.
All right, go ahead.
And so I get
I'm not impressed.
The first day we go up there, we go to turn in his work uniform back in, and I ask him why. He said he lost the job. I was like, why? He had no cut and dry excuse, so he used my money for the remainder of the week.
So?
So he said he would pay me back half when...
I'm not interested. What else?
Finally comes back to Florida.
He came back to Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
And I was mad at Kentucky, he came back to Florida?
I don't really know.
You don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
So he comes back, we go on a spring break trip, we're supposed to save each $500, put it in together, and that would be our spending money for spring break.
And what month was this?
3/21/02.
3/02. Now, from October 01 until 3/02, has he given you back the $138?
No, ma'am.
Half of the $138 for the second trip?
No, ma'am. The second ticket was more.
Whatever it was, has he given you back any of the money that you used to spending money on the second trip?
Once before we broke up, he paid $106 to me once, and then we
$106 for what?
Just all the accumulations of money he said he would pay me back for.
Now you're going to each save up $500.
Yes,
to
for
go
the
on another
spring break trip, yes.
On a big spring break trip. Why don't you save up $500 and give you the money he owes you?
I figured, why won't he pay me back? He's my boyfriend. Because we had done a previous trip before, the previous spring break to Daytona, and we both put in $400, and we both put in our half and everything, and that was great. So I figured these second times, oh, he didn't, you know, he's in Kentucky, he was tight on money. Okay, he's back home now. We'll get him another good job, but I really want to go on spring break because I've never really, you know, I wanted to go to...
That's your problem.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you put in $500 each. What happened?
Yes. He can't save the money, so I save $250. We go down there, we spend my $250, and then he said he would pay me back for the hotels. So,
I'd just like to hear a word from Mr. Wynn. Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Listen to me.
We started...
Listen to me. I'm doing fine.
Thank you.
But that's none of your business.
Okay. Our relationship started January 17th of 01, okay? The first date that she has on here is October 21st of 01. This is where she starts keeping track of what I owe her, what she says that I should pay her back. From that time to the 10th, we're using all my money. There wasn't a question of what you need to pay. I took care of it. You know, the plane ticket, I never said I paid for it. It was her decision to come out there. It was her choice. You know, she came out there. She paid for it. The trip to Daytona, I do believe I wrote her a check for an amount of maybe $100 or $200 right off the bat before we even left because I had my mother give it to her. I think I was waiting on a paycheck and the cash was just not accessible at that time. And that's pretty much it.
Now I want to hear more.
What do you want to hear?
Did you ever tell her that you would pay for the hotel?
I did not say I would pay.
No, they didn't even let me finish the question yet, Mr. Wynn. She finds you irresistible. I do not.
Not anymore.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So you have a future plan?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
He's not part of your future.
I know. I figured that out.
Figured.
That you would pay her back for half the hotel rooms for the last trip that you took.
No.
After you took that trip, which is in March of 2002, how much after that did the relationship go south?
I think we made it, what, another month, maybe 2 months?
And what happened?
It was my own fault.
How was it your own fault?
Well, too much liquor and my mouth overloaded my butt one night, and I showed my pretty good.
Showed
She got
what?
scared.
What did he say?
Something about showing is pretty good.
She got scared. She left. She got a restraining order, and we went to court over that, and that's it. There hasn't been no
I mean,
contact
you lost
since.
your temper
Yeah,
because you had too much to drink.
that was half of it.
Had you had too much to drink before during the course of your relationship with the plaintiff?
No,
Never had a drinking problem?
no.
Is that right?
No, he was never like that before. I don't know what happened the last 2 weeks of our relationship. He pushed me one incident, and that's why I got the restraining order. And while we were at the injunction hearing, I asked the judge, I was like, well, he still owes me money. How can I get that? He said, you're going to have to go to small claims court. So I served him one letter of outlining everything that he owed me, signed it. I wanted the $700. In 2 weeks, he paid me $50. Sent him a letter saying, well, I'll accept $50
Oh, just
more.
1 second. Did you send her $50?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Why did you send her the $50?
The reason for that is we had a big argument over me stealing $40 out of her purse. I didn't steal it, I just took it. You know, my money's your money should be my money. You know what I'm saying? We never had a problem with money. I took $40 out of her wallet while she was stealing me in Kentucky and took off and went drinking one night. Having fun, blah, blah, blah. And the next day, I told her I took $40 out. It was a big uproar. We had a big fight. Not really a big fight. We had a little dispute over it. And for a few months after that, you know, it would come up $40, because she said it hurt her, and I knew it hurt her. So I sent her $50. There's your 40, and here's 10 extra. And that's it.
What a man.
Yeah. How about that?
What a guy. Miss Aldrich, do you know what I'm going to give you on your complaint?
No.
Nothing. And I'm going to tell you why. How old are you?
20.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a cashier and a nanny, and I go to school.
What do you go to school for?
I want to be a nurse, a midwife.
So you have a future planned?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
He's not part of your future.
I know. I figured that out.
Figured wrong.
He's not part of your future.
I know.
When you're involved in a relationship, and let us say that the relationship went further and you became engaged and married, which is what you were planning, I'm sure.
We talked about it, but it was fantasy.
We weren't going to be bothered about this $138 for a plane ticket, or $80 for half a plane ticket, or $200 for a hotel room. You're in love. You're planning a future in your own mind. This isn't loan stuff. There's a difference between a loan. I am giving you $200. You will pay me back $20 a week until it is paid off, as opposed to, don't worry, I'll pay you back.
Well, being my boyfriend, I thought I could trust him and that he would.
But you had no reason to trust him, madam. He never paid you back.
He did pay me one payment before we broke up of $106 and said we'd give
You
me
know, I
one
don't even
paycheck.
remember
knows what
making
that's
that
for?
payment.
Who knows what that's for? But what I'm telling you, you are a very fortunate young 20-year-old. You've got a bright future, and you recognize a mistake. And if I never see you here again, madam, you will have learned a very good lesson.
I have learned, thank you.
The very good lesson is, if you're dating a guy and you have to lend him money, say sayonara.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? Lend money if, gee, I left my wallet home, you got 20 bucks until we get home? Different story.
Right.
If somebody is perpetually losing their wallet,
Or their job.
or their job,
Yeah.
or their temper, that's somebody that you want to father your children?
No, ma'am.
No, you don't.
No.
No, you don't.
No, ma'am.
So consider yourself one of the luckiest young people that I've met in a long time. You got away cheap. You're single.
Yes, I am.
You have no children. You don't have any big debt. You didn't lend him thousands.
No, I didn't.
You gave away a couple of $100, and you learned a good lesson.
Yes, I did.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He is just a womanizer and a user.
I don't know. You know, it's over. It's done with.
I'm very picky about the guys I see now.
I'm just a sucker. I'm just not the victim.
He's just one of those people that you always want to keep your eye on.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cox versus Cineas. Step forward, please.
19-year-old student Jody Cox is suing her former friend, 19-year-old student Jerry Cineas, for damage to a car that was rented in her name.
Miss Cox, the defendant was a friend of yours, and according to your complaint, you were foolish enough to rent a car for him, your name, using your credit card. Is that right?
Well, the car, it was in his name. I was the second driver. He just needed me as a second driver so he could use the credit card.
So you used your credit card.
Yes.
But the intention was for him to use the car.
Yes, I wasn't going to be there at all. I was just doing him a favor. This way he could take his trip, and he told me he was going to pay for everything in cash.
Where was he going?
Virginia, I believe.
But you weren't going to be on the trip. The car was for him. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
And then the car got smashed up,
Yes.
and they sued you
No, well, they charged me, and
on
my
the credit
mother paid
card,
it off.
on your credit card.
Yes.
How much did they charge your credit card?
$1,400. I have a statement.
I'd like to see it, please.
I also have the estimate for the damage and a picture of the car.
I just want to see what they charged you.
Okay.
$1,400. When did you take this trip, sir?
On the 12th of April, I believe it was.
And there's no question that the car was damaged while you had it on this trip.
Correct.
Let's hear you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jody Cox says former friend Jerry Cineas wrecked a car rented in her name. Jerry says he wasn't driving when the accident occurred.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we took the trip, right? On
Who's
the way
we?
back, me and my other two friends, Kenneth and Roy. We took the trip.
Which one is this?
This is Kenneth. On the way back, I was a little tired, so I let him drive the car, right? But me and Jody had the understanding that he would be the second driver. So on the way back, we got into an accident.
Just a minute. You had that understanding with her.
Correct.
Is that right?
We had to understand that he would be driving to Virginia, and if he got tired, someone else would drive. Yes.
Which was Kenneth.
Yeah.
All right. Now, on the way back, Kenneth got into a little accident and hit the side of the car. And then we took it back to the rental place, and they said that I thought at first the insurance would cover it, but it didn't. So
Why not?
I don't know the reason.
Do you know the reason?
No, they didn't even tell me this. I didn't even know until I got the credit card statement.
Well, me, Kenneth, and Roy, we came to agreement that the person who was behind the wheel would tell Jody.
Who asked her for the use of her credit card?
I asked her.
He was your friend.
Yes, he was a good friend of mine as well.
What about Kenneth?
He was a friend, but I was good friends with Jerry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we came to that agreement that Kenneth would tell Jody about the accident. Well, he didn't. So she found out through the statement. Well, so I felt, me personally, I felt I wasn't responsible for the accident being the fact that I wasn't behind the wheel. Had I was behind the wheel, I would take full responsible for it. But I wasn't behind the wheel, so I don't feel I was responsible.
I don't think you're a bad person. A little shifty, maybe. But let me just outline what you've testified to. And you tell me, because I really don't think that you're a bad person. Misguided, maybe. So let me outline what we have. She was a good friend of yours.
Correct.
You asked her, you, alone, asked her for a favor.
Correct.
The favor was, can I use your credit card? Some friends of mine and I want to take a trip.
Correct.
And I don't have a credit card to use. Can I use your credit card? She says yes. Rent a car and you go on the trip.
Correct.
You get tired. She didn't get tired.
You're right.
You got tired. You have the following choices when you get tired. You can pull off the road and take a nap. You can say, I've driven enough today. You chose to allow your friend to drive the car. She didn't have your friend drive the car. You chose, you, who had the original agreement with her, let your friend drive the car. He gets into an accident. Were you sleeping at the time?
Yes, I was.
So you don't know about the accident?
No.
You don't know what happened?
Not exactly.
You have no idea what happened. Then, instead of you telling your friend who went out on a limb for you, listen, we had an accident, and let's see what the responsibility is here, you decide to let Kenneth tell her.
But we came to agreement
Not with her.
with him.
With him.
Yes.
What does that have to do with her?
Nothing.
Right. Nothing. She's the innocent. Little stupid, but innocent. Now, you don't say to Kenneth a few hours later, did you call Miss Cox and tell her about the accident?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say
told
to
her.
you?
So I asked him, did he call her? He didn't reply.
He didn't reply, and that was good enough for you.
He said he
What
was
did he
going
say?
to call her.
He said he was
gonna
going to call her.
Correct.
So then did you say to him the next day, did you call her and let her know about the accident?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say?
He said, I'm going to call her.
You didn't say to him, let's sit down right now, because this is not right. She did me a favor. The favor was, let me use her credit card.
Correct.
Let's sit down right now and you pick up that phone and call her and tell her that you had an accident. You didn't do that, right? You just figured.
That he would call and tell her.
You believe that Kenneth is responsible?
Because he was behind the wheel and...
You believe that Kenneth was responsible
Yes.
and that he should pay for it. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Good. So this is what we're going to do. I'm giving her a judgment for $1,400 against you. If you think Kenneth is responsible, you take out a summons and sue him. Do you understand?
Yes.
That way, she's dealing with the person who she made a contract with.
Correct.
You then are dealing with a person that you feel is responsible. That's your problem. Don't visit it on her. You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,400. That's all.
Thank you.
Number 79 on the calendar, the matter of Gibbs versus Thompson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Gibbs, the defendant's daughter, I assume this young lady,
Yes.
is a babysitter for you.
Briefly, yes.
And your lawsuit wants her parents to pay for the following, because she's a minor.
Correct.
She ran up a phone bill from your house, so you want them to pay for the phone bill.
Correct.
And you want a return of the money that you paid her for babysitting,
Yes.
because you say she was not a good babysitter.
Not exactly because she wasn't a good one, but more or less she was not attending to them.
Okay, that's your lawsuit. The Thompsons have a counterclaim, and the Thompsons want you to pay more for babysitting, because they say that you owe their daughter for babysitting. And they say that they also want punitive damages because they say that you were a bad influence on their daughter, which they will explain to me. So let's see where we can fix some responsibility here. What is your first name?
Clarissa.
When did Clarissa start to babysit for you?
Early February. I probably have an exact date in my calendar. Yeah, early February, like around the 9th, I believe, is the first time she babysat for me.
And how did you find her?
They lived above me in the apartment complex and had talked about babysitting and asked her to come over a few times prior
Who
to
did you
that.
talk to?
Clarissa.
Directly.
Yes.
So that all the arrangements that you made were with Clarissa.
Yes, ma'am.
And you arranged a fee.
Yes. After about a week or so, we decided that I would just go ahead and give her $30 a week because I was using her for an hour here, an hour there during the week.
So far, Clarissa, is that correct, that she was going to pay you
No, it
$30 a week?
No, it is not.
Well, what was she supposed to pay you?
Well, she agreed to pay me $20 every time I babysat for her, which led to almost every day.
Really? $20 a day, even if you only babysat for an hour?
It was more than an hour. I would stay overnight sometimes because she would come home so late.
So starting the beginning of February, she started to babysit for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right, Clarissa?
Yes, I started February 12th, actually.
Okay. Did she babysit for you in March?
Yes, she did.
Is that right, Clarissa?
Yes.
And you got paid?
Not really. She only paid me like once, and that was $60.
In all the time that you babysat
Yes.
for her?
Only $60.
Really?
Yes.
What about April? Did she babysit for you?
No,
in
ma'am.
April?
I received my first phone bill on March 24th.
And that's when you stopped the babysitting?
Actually, I had stopped babysitting about a week prior to that. I had come home and my 2-year-old had burned a popsicle stick on the stove. He said he was cooking it.
Okay. And how many weeks in total had she babysat for you?
Approximately 4 or 5.
How many weeks?
6.
Let's go through your book and figure out exactly how many weeks she babysat for
Would
you.
you like the book?
Yeah.
I didn't write down always when she babysat. I know I have the first few times written down.
She babysat every week for you after you hired her. She babysat for you for 5 weeks. Now, according to you, you were supposed to pay her $30 a week.
February 22nd was the first time I gave her $30. So I would imagine it would have been the first part of that week that we had made that agreement.
Well, then it's 4 weeks.
Okay, so
4
it's about a
weeks
week.
times 30 is $120. Now, how much had you actually paid her?
I've actually paid $140 because of the time prior to that.
So according to your records, you're all paid up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, tell me about the phone bill.
Clarissa would use the phone when she babysat, and from the very beginning I told her I did not have a problem with her using the phone, not to make long-distance calls. I'm a single mother. I don't have means to pay for long distance. I don't use long distance myself. I received my first bill on March 24th, I believe it was, that I put on there, and the long distance charges for that month were $308.40.
Who were you calling, Clarissa?
It was an ex-boyfriend of mine at the time.
Did you know that that was the wrong thing to do?
When I first started babysitting for her, she told me that I had all privileges of the phone. She never told me not to make long-distance calls.
Well, did you make those long-distance calls in your own house?
Sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
Well,
did you ever get a phone bill for $300 a month?
No, ma'am.
No, of course not. Don't fool around with me, Clarissa. Don't fool around with me. Okay, so that's $308. Was that the total phone bill?
No, then I received one in mid-April for $31 in long distance, $87 in collect calls, and...
Was the boyfriend making collect calls to you?
No, he always called me direct.
So nobody called you collect?
No.
Does this have the number of the...
Yes, it does.
Is it the same number that she
No,
called?
ma'am, it's not. It's a Fresno number. And I asked Clarissa, have you been accepting collect calls from this number? And she says, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. And I have here $85 in collect calls.
Well, she says she doesn't know whose those are. But it really doesn't make any difference.
They're not mine.
Let's say they're Clarissa's. Why should her parents be responsible for that?
Because she's a minor.
No, you're responsible for it. And I'm going to tell you why you're responsible for it. Because you have a mechanism where you can put on your phone a block so that you can't make long-distance calls.
I've never had a need for that.
Of course
I
you've
make long distance occasionally.
Let me explain something to you. Your business arrangement was never with Clarissa's parents. Your business arrangement was with Clarissa. And if you want to ensure that things in your house are not abused, you have to take steps to do that. Her parents can't come into your house and do that. You have to do that. They are not responsible for the long-distance call made by their daughter in your house. You're responsible. You have to be prudent and vigilant, make sure that the phone isn't used, put the phone away, lock up the phone, disconnect the phone, do whatever you want to do with it. But there is no way that you are going to hold the Thompsons responsible for her calls that she made.
I had
not going to happen.
the agreement with her mother at one time, though, Your Honor.
I don't care whether you discuss an agreement with her mother or not. They're not responsible. You're responsible because they have no ability to see to it that in your house the phone isn't abused. They know how to do it in their house because her mother wouldn't tolerate it. Right?
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You think you're entitled to more money?
Well, yeah.
Really? How much do you think she owes you?
Well, see...
Give me an idea.
I say about over 600.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robbie Gibbs says former babysitter 16-year-old Clarissa Thompson ran up her phone bill with long-distance phone calls. Clarissa says Robbie still owes her money.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, he would call her directly when I was there.
So?
So I never had any clue that she was calling him or making
Neither
collect
did her
calls.
mother. Neither did her mother. You want to take care of your phone? Lock it in your drawer. It's not a mother's fault. You'll know better next time. You hire a babysitter, you take out the phone. Or you put a block on it. You say you can't make long-distance calls. That's it. It's not legally responsible. And I can't find that her parents are responsible because you have the responsibility of ensuring that when you hire a teenage babysitter and you know that they sit on the phone and they can sit on the phone for hours, you make sure that they can't get to your phone. All right. Now, you want to tell me why you think you're entitled to any money back from the money that you paid her for babysitting?
Because she wasn't babysitting. She would go in my room and shut the door and use the phone. I came home on an occasion when that happened.
When was the first time you came home and
it
found
was
her?
about 2 weeks before I had her quit babysitting, and I told her she was not welcome at my home anymore. Her mother came down. We talked about it. Her mother assured me that it would not happen again. The following week is when I came home and my son had been burning a popsicle stick.
So? Then you fired her.
And then I fired her. Yes.
So why do you think you're entitled to anything back?
I just put it in there because I thought that I paid her for services that were not rendered.
You should have been more vigilant. If I came home and found my two babies weren't being cared for by a babysitter, I would say thank you very much. I'm paying you for the day. You're not welcome back here
Which
anymore.
is what I did.
No.
And then her
you
mother
had a
came down and
conversation
spoke
with
with
her
me.
mother, and her mother assured you it wasn't going to happen again. Come on. Get real. All right. Now let's get to your counterclaim, if you're serious about it. You think you're entitled to more money?
Well, yes.
Really? Why don't you tell me why you think you're entitled to more money?
Well, because I did babysit for the kids, you know, like, because most of the time she was barely in there. She'd send her oldest son to come get me at 6:30 after she got off work, and then she'd be gone all night.
How much do you think she owes you for babysitting?
Well, see...
Give me an idea.
I say about over $600, but
Really? You think over $600?
Yes.
Really? And you babysat for her each and every week?
Yes.
And you accepted the money she gave you, and you didn't say to her, no, you owe me more than $30 a week. I'm not taking the $30. You came back and you babysat for her again, another week, and then another week, and then another week.
She kept promising me, oh, I have to go to the bank, oh, I haven't got my check yet, or I haven't cashed it. That's what she had kept telling me, so
I'm just going to sit on the phone and talk to my boyfriend. Forget any more money. Chalk it up to the time that you were sitting on the phone in the bedroom, chewing the fat with the boyfriend. You got me?
Yes.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to tell me about your counterclaim?
Yes, ma'am. I was suing her for punitive damage because, actually, I don't want to do this.
Smart. Smart. It's her responsibility to take care of her phone. It's your daughter's responsibility to do the right thing if she's babysitting. I'm sure that you've had a chat with her about abusing the privilege of somebody else's phone. I have a feeling you have.
Yes, I have.
Okay. All right, Miss Gibb. Next time, you just be a little more careful, madam. That's all.
Please excuse. You may step out.
I was pretty upset.
I'm very sorry for Mrs. Gibbs, and I hope that she get her life together.
She said that she had permission. Her parents said, no, you didn't have permission.
They both played on the telephone.
Let's let teenagers babysit anymore.
not to babysit for people like her again.
Your Honor, this is case number 401 on the calendar in the matter of Dawson versus Wade. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Dawson, you are the head of a church group?
No, I'm not a head. I'm just one of the members of the church group.
And you?
I'm a member also. I'm his wife.
According to your complaint, your church group sold a van at auction at a charity event. Is that right?
Yes, we donated to...
You donated? Shh, put your hand down. Explain that to me. You had a van.
Right.
The van was the church's van, and it had a logo on it.
Yes, we retired it. Mm-hmm.
She bought the van at auction. Put your hand down, madam, and stop moving around. You're making me very seasick. Just be quiet and behave. So far, you're not losing, but don't irritate me. The money that was retrieved from this auction went back to the church?
Yes.
So you sold the van.
Mm-hmm.
She bought the van. Your lawsuit involves a request to have her remove and paint the logo so that nobody can see that it belonged to the church. Is that right?
Yes.
Why?
Reason being is that we have an outreach ministry that we do a work out in Los Angeles County, and our name is vividly seen in the neighborhoods, and that's the reason
And
why...
it was on the van?
Yes.
You have a picture of the van?
Yes, I do.
Let me take a look at the picture of the van with the logo on it. While I'm looking at that, Mr. Dawson, who was in charge of making the arrangements to give the van out for auction?
The pastor of our ministry.
All right, now I see it. It's got your name all over it. Now I see it. How much did you pay for it?
I paid $800.
Good. And when you got it, it had these markings on it?
Yes, it did.
And you don't want the markings on it?
No.
Not in her possession?
No.
So why don't you take them off before you sold it?
Well...
What does that have to do with her? Where are you people coming from? Put your hand down a second. Where are you people coming from? You want to sell this, you turn it over to an auctioneer, they sell it, and now you're suing her. Stop, listen to me, Miss Wade. If you don't give me the attitude, I am totally unimpressed with your attitude, and it's irritating. You don't want to pass this along to somebody? You paint it over before you sell it. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, but they had made an agreement that they would be taken off before...
Who made the agreement?
The auctioneer, the person who would purchase the van, would take it off.
Who made the arrangement? You made the arrangement with her, or somebody made the arrangement with the auction house?
With the auction house.
Sue them. What are you suing her for?
Can I say something?
What?
The reason we're suing her is because our ministry is very popular throughout Southern California, Anaheim, even in San Diego. We do a very good work with children, gang prevention, youth.
Very nice. What? Keep going.
The reason I'm saying this is because they're going around in our van representing our ministry, cursing, screaming, yelling.
Miss Dawson.
Yes, ma'am.
They are not representing your ministry. She's driving around in a van that she bought, that your ministry failed to ensure did not have its logo on it because it turned it over to an auction house to sell it with a logo on it. And if you didn't want the logo on it, paint it before you sell it.
I understand that, ma'am.
Period. End of discussion. She's not holding herself out to be your ministry. She's driving around in a van she purchased. You want her to spend more than $800?
Yes, she is. She's representing our ministry. She said that she takes the youth around in our ministries. They like it on there. They don't want to take it off. We offered to take it off for them, to take it off professionally, and they said no. He likes it on there. He was belligerent. He cursed. He threatened my pastor's wife. He called the church.
That's it. He liked it.
Yeah, but it's
he liked it. It's
our
folk
ministry.
art.
It's representing our ministry. We get calls from all over the Southern California area, from Torrance to Los Angeles, complaining that how could our ministry do something like that, curse with children around. We don't do that. They're misrepresenting our ministry, and they won't take it off. Who would want to drive around with a Youth Action for Christ Jesus sign when they don't even represent Christ? We represent Christ.
Let me, madam, give you an example that maybe you will understand.
Yes, ma'am.
The Beatles used to tour this country on a bus.
Yes, ma'am.
And they had the word Beatles on the bus. Trademark. Now, let us say at the end of their tour, they decided that they had no further need for this bus, and they were going to sell it. And they put an ad in the paper. Take away the third party, the auction house. They put an ad in the paper. I see this ad and I say, gee, I would really like to have a Beatles bus. I'd like to have a bus that I knew the Beatles drove around in, and that had their name on it, that had their pictures on it. I want that. And I'm prepared to spend the money for it. So I answer the ad. They say the bus is $25,000. I say, sold. That's what I want. I want to take my kids touring, my kids and my grandchildren. I want to be stuck in a bus with my grandchildren. Right, touring the country in this Beatles bus. Paul McCartney says, you got to take, after I pay the $25,000, oh, you got to take our name off the bus.
I understand.
I said, no, you want to sell this bus without your name on it, take it off. I bought it with the name on it.
I understand.
It's my bus.
Yes, ma'am.
She bought the whole package.
She sure did.
And if your minister made a mistake by not removing the logo before he turned it over for sale, that's his problem.
Can I clarify something? My husband failed to mention that my minister was responsible for letting us take the van. We were responsible for taking the names off. We failed, and we're trying to take care of it now. My ministry is not responsible for it.
You can't.
I called the police, and they said the only thing I could do is go to small claims court to petition to them to take it off. She met with my husband, and she was very nice about saying, okay.
What I'm telling you is, if she wants to, she can.
If
you want to give her money, maybe if you give her money, she'll say, fine, I'll take it off. Maybe $400 would make it feel better for me. Well, maybe, but you cannot require her.
We didn't require her. We asked her, and she was very nice. She was very humble, and she said, sure, to come take it off. We called her husband. He said, who do you think you are calling my house? You're not going to take anything. He cursed. He said, if you say another word, I'm going to hang up in your face.
I heard you, Miss Dawson. You're not listening to me.
I'm sorry.
You're not listening to me. If it was your responsibility, you didn't take care of your responsibility. You can't clean it up now. I'm telling you, you cannot require her to take off the logo from the bus because you don't like the language she uses or somebody uses when they're in the bus driving around. You cannot require her to do that.
It's not just the language.
I don't care what it is. I don't care if she was mooning people when she was driving around with your bus.
I understand
you
that.
cannot require her to do it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He pulled out the razor blade and was starting to proceed to take the lettering off my van. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. You can't take this off my car right now.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Anthony Dawson and his wife Sheindlin are suing Danye Wade for misrepresenting herself as part of their ministry. The Dawsons say Danye purchased a van from their church and refuses to remove the logo.
Now, you may pay her and say to her, listen, let's enter into an agreement and perhaps I will,
I'll
give you money. You want some money to remove this from the bus?
Yes, if they want.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Here we go. How much money do you want?
I want 15 for it. 1,500 for it.
Well, you only paid 800.
Can I explain why?
No, just a minute. You only paid 800. So explain to me. Explain to me why you want 15. You're going to. Let me explain something. You're going to get nothing.
Okay.
Because
okay,
what I'm trying to do is to make an arrangement that will satisfy everybody.
Okay.
It would have to be a voluntary arrangement. Do you understand? Not something that's loony.
Okay.
So, if you want some money so that they will paint it, give it a nice fresh coat of paint, that sounds reasonable to me.
Okay, but may I explain to you the reason why I want 15 for it?
Sure.
Okay, because first of all, when I bought the van was $800. I paid $400 to register the car. Didn't have a problem. When I bought the van, my intentions was to take the lettering off because I didn't want it. I wanted to paint it in one color, and I couldn't afford it. I just didn't have the money to buy it. Okay, one day I was shopping at a store. I came out my store to this man right here, this minister, at my van, doing something to my van. Okay, when I got to you wasn't even there.
Oh, yes, you was there.
Just
a second. Put your hand down.
Little girl. Okay.
Listen to me.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Say okay.
Okay, so
I don't want you. Okay. I don't want you to talk to them. You talk to me. Okay. You understand? You came out of a store. What was he doing to your van?
At that time, I didn't know what he was doing because when I walked out the store, I could see him at the van, and as I got closer to the van, he was walking away, and then when I got to the van, me and my son, he walked towards me, and I asked him what was he doing. And he was like, he identified himself, I'm the minister of this church, and I thought when they sold you the van, they took the lettering off of it. And I was like, no, they didn't. I bought this like this, but I have intentions on taking it off. And he asked me, he was like, well, can I take it off? I was like, sure. I gave him the number. I said, let's make arrangements. And he pulled out the razor blade and was like, he pulled out the razor blade, and I can describe exactly what kind of razor blade. It was like a box cutter. He pulled out the razor blade and was starting to proceed to take the lettering off my van, and I was like, wait a minute, hold up. My baby looking in the car, he looking out the window. I'm like, you can't take this off my car right now. You cannot do this. We have to make arrangements. I just told you to call me. I jumped in my car. I put off. I went home. I told my neighbors and everything. I was like, you won't believe what just happened to me.
Now
okay.
I understand.
I'm sorry.
So, just a second.
I'm like, you won't believe what just... Okay.
Miss Wade, now you told me what happened. Now, you're moving around. You're making me very, very dizzy. Either one of two things are going to happen today. Either I'm just going to send you both packing because they have no case. You have no case on a counterclaim. If you are prepared to have them pay to repaint the van, how much are you prepared to accept so that they will be happy and according to you, you will be happy? And don't tell me $1,500 because $1,500 is going to buy you the door.
Okay, can I say something now? He took letters off the van. It's letters off the van. His name is off the van.
Fine.
Half of his letters. I didn't tell him to do that. I told him let's make arrangements.
Fine. Listen to me very carefully, Miss Wade. Let me ask you this question. Miss Wade, you're not following what I'm saying. I asked you for a figure. So, how much will it cost to paint the van?
Well, I went to Earl Shy and they said $600 to repaint
Good.
the car.
$600 to repaint it. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, are you prepared to spend $600 to correct your mistake? Is the question. The answer is either yes or no. You're not. You have no case. So she wants $600 so that she can, or you can, take it where they paint cars and have it painted.
We offer to have it removed professionally. We don't want to pay $600 to have it removed.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They sit there and act like he didn't pull out the razor blade.
We wouldn't even use a scraper. We were going to use a blow dryer on our property. It doesn't even work like that to remove it professionally.
Right. We had someone who was going to
That
take
was a
it
lie.
off.
They sitting there acting, putting on a show, acting like they didn't do it and act like I'm just so innocent. No, you're not innocent, not at all. You are hypocrites.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hollis versus Kirkland, step forward, please.
Inventory Control Clerk Lori Hollis is suing her former live-in boyfriend, salesman Alex Kirkland, for unpaid rent and bills. Alex says this is revenge for their breakup.
Ms. Hollis, according to your complaint, a couple of years ago, the defendant lived with you. I assume you were in some sort of a relationship when he came to live with you. You say that he owes you money for rent and other bills. Mr. Kirkland says he doesn't owe you a thing, that you never had an agreement with regard to rent, and when he was working, he gave you money. Is that right, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. When did you move in together, or he moved in with you?
June 10th, 2001.
And how long did you know him before he moved in with you?
From October 1999 for a little over a year and a half.
Why did he move in with you?
He had gotten into a situation where he needed a place to live. And
I don't know what that means.
He had broken up with his girlfriend at the time and he needed a place to live. He was moving out of his place. And so I offered to let him stay with me.
So he wasn't your boyfriend at the time,
No.
he was just a friend?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And, you know, and we had an agreement that he was supposed to pay me $450 a month plus, you know, half of the living expenses, utilities. And about 10 days, I think it was like the 25th of June, he had lost his job. And he lost his job under circumstances which prevented him from being able to collect unemployment. I was a friend of his, and I had faith that he would get a job soon and, you know, and be able to adhere to our agreement. But he stayed unemployed all the way through March 2002.
That's your problem. That's your problem.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Soon after he did get a job, he picked up and left.
He's consistent.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Lori Hollis says ex-boyfriend Alex Kirkland owes for rent and bills. Alex says Lori is a vengeful woman.
Let me tell you what you just told me. You just told me that he broke up with his girlfriend and he had to move out of her apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I assume it was her apartment because she wasn't leaving. He was being forced out. Is that right? That's why he came to live with you.
Well, I don't know the circumstances of their relationship. So
Well, certainly he needed the place to live. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then, as soon as he got to your house, he lost his job. And when you say he lost a job under circumstances under which he could not collect unemployment, which means he didn't leave voluntarily. He left because he got caught doing something wrong. Well, if you get caught doing something wrong, then maybe you can't collect unemployment, because if you get fired, and if you've had a work history, then you can collect unemployment. So now you have faith in him that he's going to get a job, but he doesn't get a job. So you can, if he's just your friend, you say to him, toodaloo. Well, but you decided not to. So why are you here a year and a half later looking for rent?
Well, all the time that he was staying with me, well, in September of 2001, he decided, he instigated a conversation with me to take our relationship further, because we had been friends for a real long time. We cared about each other, and I loved him. So
that's why you let him stay.
I let him stay.
That's why you let him stay.
And he continually told me that, you know, don't worry, you'll get a job and he'll pay me what he owes me, and so on. But soon after he did get a job, he picked up and left. And
he's consistent. He's consistent. So what are you complaining about?
Well, the fact that
you cared for him, he evidently was not committed.
I do have a signed rental agreement by him, though.
Let me see it. When did you have him sign a rental agreement?
Well, I tried to use it as so in a child support hearing to prevent his child support from being raised.
Were you involved in the child support dispute, sir?
Yes.
Is that why you signed this agreement?
That is why I signed that agreement.
So, according to this, you owe her for a year's rent.
According to that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And?
I didn't really remember signing that agreement. And once she brings it, now that she brings it up, the reason that I signed it was to take into court to show that I was living at a place and everything was on the up and up, and for them not to raise the child support, which they did anyway. It had really nothing to do with rent. She agreed to help me, knowing the situation that I was in. I did pay her. I signed my complete checks over to her once I started working. And I didn't move out right after I got a job.
When you say you signed your complete checks over to her, how often did he do that? How many times did he sign his complete checks over to you?
He did the first check he got in April. He did because we were kind of in the rears at rent at the time.
So how much was that?
I don't know how much.
How much was that? Do you remember?
I believe it was around $500 from what I had left from the child support.
Mm-hmm.
And he moved out in July 15th.
Mr. Kirkland, what you're suggesting is that you took this piece of paper. You were sworn to tell the truth.
That's correct.
And the judge asked you what your expenses were?
Yes, he did. I told him that I wasn't working, and those are expenses that were against me.
You gave this to the judge when
Yes.
you were under oath and
Yes.
said, these are my expenses.
Yes.
My rent is $450 a month.
That's correct.
I need this for transportation. I need this for clothing. Is that right?
That's correct.
So now you're coming into this court, and you're telling me in this court that this was merely meant to fool the judge in the child support proceeding.
That's not correct.
Of course that's correct. That you furnished this document to the judge in the child support hearing in the hopes that they would not raise your child support, but that this agreement was false. You were not supposed to pay $450 a month rent. So you furnished this to the judge in that hearing in order to fool that judge. Your fair statement?
I guess that would be a fair statement.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bullock versus Haycox. Step forward, please.
Nurse Karen Bullock is suing her ex-boyfriend, Ralph Haycox, for having her falsely arrested and for the return of her belongings. Ralph says during an argument, Karen hit him with a Big Mac.
Miss Bullock, how long were you and the defendant in a relationship?
Ralph and I were in a relationship for 9 years.
According to your complaint, the defendant had you falsely arrested on domestic violence charges and you were forced to spend some 30 days in jail. You want to be compensated for that. And in addition, you say that when he unceremoniously told you to get your stuff and get out, he kept some of your personal property and you want it back or the value of that property. That's what your lawsuit is about, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Haycox, is that your name?
Yes.
Says that you got arrested because you deserve to get arrested. You spent time in jail because you deserve to spend time in jail. And that he has none of your property. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
When was this incident that caused you to be arrested?
It was in March of this year. I served 30 days in jail.
Well, tell me about it. What happened?
Ralph and, like I said, Ralph and I have been together for 9 years. I walked in and caught him in the bed with another woman.
Look at me, please. Don't
The
look
cops
back.
was called and I was arrested. I was told it was a violation of a restraining order. And I appeared in front of the judge. And
Just a second. When you came home, something must have happened if the police were called.
Actually, nothing. I told him I said, oh, I done caught you in a lie. You told me it was over between him and his woman. Actually, him and I had problems.
Just a second. He called the police. You want to tell me, sir, what happened when she caught you?
I was home alone. There was no one there with me, and she came in with an attitude about
That's
something.
Not true.
And
That's not true.
we started having a debate, and the next thing I know, she had a Big Mac, and she took and slammed it in my face.
A Big Mac sandwich?
Yes.
That's not true.
Okay.
And instead of going off and hitting her, I called the police, and she left and went to one of my neighbor's house to try to hide, but they put a warrant out for her, and about a week later they came to the house and picked her up.
Has there been incidents of violence between the two of you before?
Yes.
Tell me when.
Oh, the relationship was just full of violence and nonsense. We'd broken up maybe a half a dozen times before, and it's just time to stay away from each other. That's what I want her to do.
Okay. Now, what I read in the complaint was, Ms. Bullock, it appears to me that there was a restraining order that was in existence at the time Mr. Haycox called the police and had you arrested for this hamburger incident. When was that restraining order issued?
Had to be a few years ago, but I didn't know that it was still in effect. To my knowledge,
But it was still in effect.
Evidently, it was.
So he had a protective order.
Right.
So you served 30 days for violating that protective order.
So that's what I found out it was.
Now, did you plead guilty to violating the protective order?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Do you have any of the criminal court papers, please?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to take a look at them. Let's... I think you understand. Thanks.
Oh, I have something else here, too.
Well, this was issued in February, and this protective order says that you are to refrain from doing anything to him and to refrain from entering the family dwelling.
Mm-hmm.
You pled guilty? You pled guilty to violating the restraining order?
That's what they got me on, for violating the restraining
You
order.
pled guilty and served 30 days.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Then you can't sue him for falsely having you arrested.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now, what personal property do you say you still have in the defendant's house?
I have receipts and stuff, documented stuff that I had.
Like what? Give me an example.
A television. I have antiques in there, lamps, dishes, blow dryer, curling iron, mirror, handmade mirror.
Go ahead, sir. Do you have any of her stuff?
Yes, some of those things are there, but I've called her and tried to make arrangements with her so she could come and pick up her property.
Okay.
And she said, well, I'm going to settle it in court and don't call here anymore.
Fine.
So,
This is what you ought to do. I want you to pack up her property. Pack it up neatly. Don't damage anything because you want this lady to leave you alone. Correct? What relative do you have? You live in New Britain, Connecticut?
I have a brother.
Do you get along with her brother?
yeah.
Good. 5 days from today, your brother, in the company of a police officer, will go to the house. He will give your brother your property. Do you understand? He says he has some of your property, and he doesn't look like a nut, so that he doesn't want you to come around anymore. So whatever you have that belongs to her, or you think even marginally belongs to her, be smart. Pack up, get ready for her brother to pick up. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. 5 days. That's all. Thank you very much.
This is case number 3. Parties action. Yeah, this is case number 156 on the calendar in the matter of LaDonte versus Davis. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Ms. LaDonte, it is your complaint that the defendant... What is that vacuum cleaner doing here?
That's my vacuum cleaner that's busted right now because my hair is inside of it.
Could we do something with that vacuum cleaner and take it away, please? Or just put it so I don't look at it. Props I don't need. Thank you. All right, Ms. LaDonte, it is your complaint that you had a hair process done by the defendant, and as a result of the faulty process, you're losing your hair. You want him to pay $5,000 for the treatments you're going to receive over the next 5 years, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The defendant is counterclaiming because he says you stopped payment on the check and never complained to him about the process. That's what the case is about?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How long had you been going to the defendant's salon for service?
Almost a year and a half.
And he had done work for you satisfactorily before?
Yes.
What kind of work?
Extensions put in my hair and a bonding process.
Explain that to Bird.
It's
He
a
doesn't
powder
understand
and
it.
a glue that you put into your hair to make your hair fuller and longer.
You put glue into what part of your scalp or your...
No, it's put into my hair, into each strand.
Okay, and he's been performing that service for you for well over a year.
Right.
And you've had no problem?
No.
Good. So when did you start to have a problem?
When he gave me a $1,200 process and promised me that it would last me 9 months.
Okay. When was that? When did he give you this $1,200 process?
On April 24th.
Tell me about it. Did you go in for a normal glue job?
I was going to get, you know, the regular bonding done. He says, I have a new process for you. It's going to cost you $1,200. And he dyed my hair, and he put the $1,200 process into my hair.
I'm going to get to you in a second. What was the difference, as he explained it to you, between the old process and the new one?
Okay. It's supposed to be a protein-based glue. So instead of making my hair damaged, be more beneficial to me to have healthier hair and go back every 9 months instead of every 3 months.
Okay, so you go in on April 24th, and he gives you this expensive bonding job.
Right.
What happened next?
The 25th, I noticed my hair was all orange. I called him up. He said, come on in and I'll fix it for you.
Okay.
And he fixed it for me.
Tell me what he did.
Excuse me, Chuck?
Take the thing off.
Look what he's done to my hair.
Talk to me. On 4/26, he recolored your hair.
Right.
Has that ever happened before when
Never.
you colored your hair?
Never.
Okay. Then what happened?
He told me not to wash my hair for 48 hours from the 24th. The 26th, I washed my hair. That was 48 hours. And as I get into the shower,
Don't be dramatic.
I'm not being dramatic.
There's
It's
only
very
one drama gal here. Are those the extensions or is that your hair?
They're both. I have pieces here from the root. Your Honor, I'm just very upset, emotionally upset.
There's no way.
I'll show you, Greg.
It's that far. When I attach it that far,
Okay.
an inch from the scalp.
Well, Bird, I'm not going to ask you to do this.
You ripped out my hair.
Miss LaDante.
Did she wash it with
This is my roots.
dog shampoo, or did you wash it with
That's a
the
conversation.
Mr. Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Okay. Now, in all that clump of hair that you have over there, you picked out one piece, and you showed me that that was a root. Are there any other hair strands there that you can identify as your natural hair?
Yes.
Just take out what you can identify as your natural hair, madam. And then I will see if I can identify it as natural hair. Perhaps Mr. Davis can.
Shall I give it to him?
No, bring it up here. Because Bird doesn't want to go touch that. Bird doesn't like to touch those things.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. What I see is the extensions came off, and I see some dark hair.
That's my root.
Okay. All right. So of all that mess over there that you have over there, this you say is your natural hair.
Well, some of it in here is...
Not all of this is your natural hair. This is extension.
Yes.
Take the rest of that clump there, put it back in where it belongs. Very good. The whole thing.
This too?
That's all came out.
It's all came out.
It's all came out. So it's not your hair. This came out, which is the process that he put on. This is not natural hair. This is not your hair. This is somebody else's hair or some...
human hair.
Somebody made this from a sweater or something. I don't know. Okay. Now, let us assume, Miss LaDante, that it is true that the extensions that he put in came out.
Yes.
And you paid him $1,200. So why are you suing him for $5,000?
Why?
Yes.
Okay. I need hair integration.
Show me.
Okay. I have a bill here for an estimate of doing $1,004.
For what?
For hair integration. It's
What's
right
hair
here.
integration?
It's almost like a wig, but it's not.
You don't need a wig. Is that your natural hair?
No,
Listen to me.
half of it isn't, half of it is.
Madam, why don't you just cut off the extensions that you have in your hair? Yeah, I'm looking at the top of your hair. Top of your hair looks thick, looks fine. You know, you may need a little bit of a touch job right over there near the roots, but we're not talking about that. It looks as if this is healthy hair. You don't expect him to pay for another process, for another integration process for your head. He's not going to do that.
Integration has no bonding, no glue, no nothing.
So, you want a different process? Go get a different process.
I'm in the marketing business. I have hair falling in front of my customers.
Why don't you cut? It's not your hair. Why don't you just cut off the extensions?
This never happened before until he did this process.
Listen to me. Your hair isn't falling out. Your extensions are falling out. The extensions are from here down. Is that right?
Right.
Cut them off.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa LaDante says hair salon owner Greg Davis owes for damaging her hair. Lisa says after receiving hair extensions, her real hair fell out.
Okay, let me hear you.
Chuck called me and said, let's talk about this. I said, okay, what's the problem? He's like, well, Lisa's petrified of you, da-da-da. I'm like, Chuck, come on. She's been coming to me for 1.5 years. I said, why hasn't she called me before now and said, you know, Greg, this is a problem. She knows it's not real hair. He's like, you know, come on, let's negotiate the price. And I said, what do I look like, Monty Hall? I did the service, she signed the check, everything over and done with.
She stopped payment on your check. So you did not get paid for this process.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your counterclaim, sir, for this money is denied, and I'm dismissing your claim. You, however, listen to me very carefully. You didn't pay for the service. If you had paid for the service, I would have awarded you the full amount that you had, in fact, paid him. But you stopped payment on the check. You were dissatisfied with the service, so you are out no money.
My hair is damaged.
It may be damaged, madam. Do you have...
You'd make your appointment. It didn't happen.
All right, I'm going to take care of it very easy. Don't show me papers. You have a witness here to testify?
Yes,
He wasn't even there. He was not even there.
Yes, he
I
was.
want you to be quiet. Who are you?
Why?
I'm her fiance.
Are you a hairdresser?
No, I should.
Sit down. You have someone who is an expert in cosmetology, who is a licensed hairdresser who will testify that they examined your hair and that your hair, as a result of this process, was damaged irreparably. Do you have such a witness? No. Then your case is dismissed because you have already been compensated by the fact that you stopped payment on his check. You are not out any money. He should not receive any money. But I, quite frankly, don't see why, if you take this hair that is not yours and cut it off, do your roots a little bit. That's just my suggestion, and I am not really an expert in the area. Put a little conditioner in your hair. It may be just fine. If you are going to continue to put glue and stuff in your hair, it's going to continue.
I didn't put glue in my hair. He did.
He didn't drag you in off the street, madam. Now, I don't think that that process can be good for your hair. You dye your hair. You put peroxide in your hair, you put glue in your hair, you put bonding stuff in your hair, and you expect your hair to be healthy. It ain't going to happen. You have my verdict. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just don't want anybody in Daytona Beach to ever let him do extensions and let this happen to them.
You can see by her roots that she don't even go and have her hair done on a regular basis.
I did not do my roots due to the fact that I was told not to touch my hair, so he, the phony, would not blame another hairdresser for what he did.
Now, this is case number 236 on the calendar in the matter of Ronstadt versus Nelson. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Ronstadt, when did you and the defendant start to live together?
Approximately May 1st, 2000.
And when did you separate?
He left on the 19th of July, 2001.
Were you both working at the time?
I was not working. He had lost his job the day prior.
So how did you support the household?
I have a nervous system disease, and I was receiving disability payments.
You were receiving disability?
Which exceeded his income.
No, that's a false statement, Your Honor.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
What kind of work were you doing, sir?
I'm a computer technician.
And how much did you earn last year?
$63,000.
Okay. Now, did you move into a new apartment together, or did you move in with him, or did he move in with you?
We moved into a new apartment together. I was making $110,000 at the time I lost my job, and I was receiving disability payments in excess of $2,600 a month.
Your Honor, she was borrowing money from her mother to support this.
This lawsuit has to do with the fact that you claim that you purchased for your joint use a motorcycle.
That's correct.
That's a false statement, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Nelson, I don't want to hear from you until I look in your direction or ask you a question.
Okay.
That he won't return to you.
That's correct.
Mr. Nelson says that you purchased this motorcycle for him as a gift. That's your defense.
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
Okay. Now, I would like you to tell me the circumstances surrounding the purchase of this motorcycle. When was it purchased?
It was purchased on April 20th, the year 2001. I purchased it because when I lost my job, we had a fair amount of money to live on, but by April, it became apparent that it just wasn't going to make it. I talked to Mr. Nelson, took a full 401k distribution. I got approximately $17,000 left. I have all the proof here. The bike cost $9,400. I did so because he was driving a 4Runner. The 4Runner was costing about $500 a month in just gas alone. And we needed to cut down on our daily expenses. We could not fork out that amount of money on a daily basis for gas. Plus, he had to pay a toll fee to go across the bridge to get to work. Using a motorcycle, you avoid the toll fee.
So
we bought the bike.
Now I'll hear from you.
Your Honor, on my birthday, 4/10, she told me that for my birthday, as a gift, that she would be buying a motorcycle for me. And it's a wonderful gift. Plus, it will save on the gas and all these other things. This was not for our use. It was for my use, and it was a gift as a birthday present. 4/10, we had discussed going to look at motorcycles on the weekend. We did so on Sunday, April 15th, and put a deposit of $100 on the motorcycle in question. We were waiting on the rest of the 401k loan to come in, and it did come in. Sorry?
Not a 401k loan, a 401k payout. She got cash.
Okay, yeah. Well, she took that money and told me that she was going to pay the debts that were incurred because of her out-of-control spending with eBay and whatnot, the debts that she was creating, as well as buying a motorcycle for me as a gift. We went back on 4/21 and paid the remainder of the balance. She was talking to the salesman, and I have a written statement from the salesman.
Don't tell me what the salesman said.
This is very important
The
because
salesman should have been here.
he couldn't come here because he's a salesman. He couldn't make it. He
Not a
doesn't know me.
reason.
Why would he take the time to come to the
Not a
court?
reason. That's hearsay.
Okay.
Mr.
Well,
Nelson.
she also told Jamie Curley and my mother. We rode the motorcycle to my mother's house, and she boasted of this beautiful gift that this generous gift that she bought for her son, as a birthday gift.
Why did you leave in July?
We were having some difficulties. We were having a lot of difficulties, and she was adding a lot of stress to my life, and plus my children. She was not really caring for my children or very sympathetic towards the situation between my children and I. She didn't want them around. She was trying to control how often I saw my children and
But
whatnot.
that wasn't a recent thing. That probably had been going on for
This
a while.
has been, yes.
Was it going on before April of 2001?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
So what'd you take this very expensive gift for?
Because it was a gift for me.
So why did you accept a very expensive gift if things weren't going well?
They weren't going too well, but I mean, these things were tolerable, and it was getting progressively worse. When she lost her job, things just kept going downhill from there. And I got to a point where I was just fed up and I was done.
Now, one of the defenses that you have to this action, other than the fact that it was a gift, is that you say that jointly you purchased furniture for this apartment that you moved in together, and the only thing that you left with was the motorcycle.
It wasn't, I wanted to leave clean. I didn't want to have it drag out or anything, and we had discussed, she said I could take, I told her three things that I wanted. I'm going to take, I said I'd like to take the computer desk, the DVD player, and our big screen TV, and that's it, and you can have the rest, and I'm leaving. And I didn't include the motorcycle because that was a gift and that was mine, so I didn't ask her, is it okay if I take my motorcycle? I had a police civil standby because her son got out of control that night and brought two friends over. And
did you in fact take this TV?
No, I did not. She wouldn't allow me to take the TV because
So did you take anything from the apartment?
No. Only, excuse me, I took my clothes, my belongings, and
the motorcycle.
And the motorcycle. And the police wanted me to get my stuff and get out. They were there on a civil standby, and I was standing right next to an officer when I rode off with the motorcycle.
Now, who paid for all the furniture in the apartment?
She paid partially, and we had a joint account and whatnot, so I don't know exactly how much of what we paid for.
How much money did you put into the joint account each week?
Actually, I have it right here. I have statements right here.
I have a statement also, Your Honor.
How much money did he put into the joint account?
$1,263 every 2 weeks.
Okay, and what was the rent on the apartment?
$1,800.
$1,850, Your Honor.
Excuse me. This motorcycle was not an issue, if I may. This motorcycle was not an issue until after I'd left and she saw Miss Curley riding on the back of my motorcycle. We left the place, and then Miss Rungstad told me that she said, now, because of this stunt, you're going to lose the motorcycle. And that's when it became the issue.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Rongstad is suing her ex-boyfriend, Eric Nelson, for the cost of a motorcycle. Eric says Lori is jealous of his new fiancée.
Is it accurate that he put in about it would come out to about $2,700 a month?
He put it in, but he also had bills that used up all of that money.
I want to know who paid for furnishing the apartment.
I did. I sold over $80,000 worth of stock options. I bought all of the bedroom furniture prior to us ever moving in and charged it on an American Express card.
Are you telling me that he did not contribute to purchasing anything for the apartment?
No, ma'am, he didn't, because I had the cash. I had over $30,000 when we moved in. The only things that we needed to buy once we moved in were we bought a big screen TV, a DVD player, and a couple of VCRs.
Where
Other
did you
than
pay
that,
for that from?
At that time, we did not have a joint account.
Where did the money come from?
From myself, from my stock option sales.
Your Honor, I also had stock that I had sold as well, and plus I also put extra money in that we bought stock together, and she put it in her son's name, and then sold the stock, and we used that money as well, so it's not going to look like it came from me at all, but that's what happened.
There's never been any stock in my son's name ever, and that can be proved through IRS records if needed.
I'd like to pull
Now,
those.
I have one other question. The car that you had, the truck that you had, was that sold?
No, ma'am.
Did you continue to use it for the months of May and June?
Yes, I did at times, yes.
So you kept that. Do you drive?
I do drive, but I have my own vehicle.
What kind of vehicle do you have?
At the time, I had a Chrysler Concorde. However, it was tampered with, and the engine no longer worked, so I had to turn that in and buy a new car.
But
Your
when
Honor,
this motorcycle was purchased, you did not sell the other car that he had.
No.
That car was retained.
That's correct.
Now, do you have both vehicles now, sir? The motorcycle and that other car?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
You have both?
Yes.
Okay, and you had both in the month of May?
Yes, I did.
And you had both in the month of June?
Yes.
It was a gift. It was a gift, Miss Rostat. Now, it may have been a gift that you decided should not be a gift because the romance didn't last more than a couple of months after you gave it to him, but that's really not dispositive.
No,
I would accept what you said to me about saving all the money because of saving all the gas money, et cetera, if the agreement was that he was going to sell the car that he had or the truck that he had so that there would be no additional expense, but there is certainly no saving by having two vehicles, two insurance, two repairs, two everything else. I mean, I think that, yes, oh yes.
May I
I think
say
that it is, no, I think that it's probably not the moral thing to do to accept this very pricey gift, sir, from somebody where the relationship wasn't going right. You know, guys like big toys, so you're going to take it anyway because where else were you going to get a $9,000 present? But I certainly think it was not the moral thing to do. Do we understand each other?
Yes, I do. I left that house, Your Honor, without taking anything, so I
well, my
understand
sense is, from what the plaintiff tells me, that she had far more financial resources to spend to furnish that house than you did. I was a little sympathetic when I first read your answer, and you said, I walked out of this relationship with nothing. We had furnished a house for $25,000, and I just left with this gift and my clothes. Until I ascertained, sir, that you have children for whom I'm sure you pay child support, that you did put in certain joint monies into a joint account, but that went to pay off some bills. You had a car, you had insurance, you had gas. That eats up what you put in to the joint account. So I don't see that you had a lot left over to buy furniture. Whether it was a big screen TV, because that would have been a single guy's paradise to leave a relationship with a big screen TV and a motorcycle. So I'm sorry I can't help you, madam.
May I please say a couple other items that I was not able to say?
Sure.
Anything that was a gift, I gave him. I bought him Yardrow Eagles. I bought him a number of very expensive items. I gave those to him. Those were pure gifts. I was down to all of the last money I had in my life, my 401k. I would not have used half of that to buy him a gift. Also,
yes, you did.
No, he also did not.
Yes, you did.
Ma'am, he also did not use.
You shouldn't have used. If it wasn't a gift, you should not have used half the money that you have in your whole life to buy him a motorcycle.
Your Honor.
That's not smart.
I know.
And don't give me all the baloney about he was going to save money on gas. Common sense suggests to me that if you were going to buy somebody a car to save money.
Why did I put it in my name?
No. Listen to me carefully. You would buy him a car for $8,000.
It doesn't get across the bridge fast.
Hey! Did I look at you and ask you a question? A motorcycle is not something that one buys to save money.
It is.
No.
I
a
also grew up with
four-cylinder
them.
little car just to get you to and from work can save money.
Yes.
Right? A motorcycle is a boy toy.
I like motorcycles, and I've always had them.
Good. Buy yourself another one. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's obviously filled the judge's head with lies. I mean, they won when they're purely evil people.
We were next door neighbors, and Lori, Lori won't take any responsibility for their breakup.
I have 20 police reports of all the harassment.
A woman scorned.
After I left her, I got involved with Jamie Curley, and she's off at that.
Yes, case number 364 on the calendar in the matter of Bruce versus West. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
All right, the facts in this case are relatively simple. What is your first name?
My name is Kira Bruce.
Kira, you are 17 years old.
Yes.
Decided you wanted a tattoo.
Correct.
You went to the defendant's tattoo parlor.
Sure. That's acceptable.
And presented him with a fake ID and got your tattoo.
Yes.
Then you came home and your mother had a Shrek. You know what a Shrek is? She had a fit.
Good. I thought that was a movie.
Well, somebody took the word and made a movie out of it. But she had a fit. And you and your mother are suing the defendant because your mother believes that he should pay for at least half of the cost of removing the tattoo. Is that what this case is about?
That's exactly what it's about.
Easy. I have a few questions. When did you get the tattoo, Kira?
The beginning of October.
Had you ever had a tattoo before?
I had started one a few days before I got the one at Body Bazaar, yes.
You mean you started one but didn't finish it?
Correct.
At a different tattoo parlor?
Correct.
Why didn't you finish it?
I was nervous and I just kind of got up and paid him and left.
Okay. So the beginning of October you got this tattoo. What does it say? What is it?
It's my last name. It's
Bruce?
Yes. And then
You don't have a boyfriend named Bruce?
No.
Yeah, she told us.
We don't shout out in court. Now, when you went in, did you go in alone? Were you with someone else?
I was alone.
And you saw the defendant?
Oh, I never met Dave West until it all came back with my parents.
Okay. You saw somebody else who worked in the shop?
Yes.
Is that person in court today?
Yes.
Which one? Raise your hand.
Both of them?
You. Were you the one who did the work?
Yep, did the verse tattoo on her, yes.
Okay, could you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Kevin Augustine. How you doing?
Don't ask me questions.
Kevin
I ask questions.
Augustine.
Augustine.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Augustine, when Kira came into the shop, did you ask her for identification?
Yeah, that's normal procedure.
What did you say to her?
They give us California driver's license and they fill out a consent form.
Do you have her form?
Yeah, we do.
May I have it, please?
There's two separate ones for the two different dates that she came in.
She came in on 2 dates.
2 different occasions.
So you didn't finish on the first date and she came back?
No, she started the tattoo at a tattoo studio a few doors down. Then she came to us and got the tattoo she had started at the other studio. She got colored in. Then about a month, maybe about a month later, she came back in, brought the same ID, presented her ID, and got a whole nother separate tattoo.
Okay. Do you have the driver's license that you presented to the defendants when you...
It was not a driver's license, it was a California ID.
California ID.
Yes, we do have that, and if you'll note, the the person going in actually fills out the information. On the first copy of October 1st, her date of birth is listed as 8/19/01. On the consent form dated October 3rd, it's 9/18/83.
Oh, okay.
So
not very hard. Now, she came home to see you, and she showed you the tattoo?
No, she didn't actually. I had been in Southern California for 9 weeks caring for my father, who just recently passed away.
Who was staying with her?
Her father and her brother. But when I returned home, my house was a shambles, you know, teenagers and a dad that eats pizza. So I happened to stroll through her room, and I looked down on the floor, and I saw a letter. It was folded, and I picked it up, and it said, "I love my tattoo," a little heart. So I thought I better read the rest of this letter. And I said, "Dear James, sorry. I hope you're not mad at me for getting another tattoo." And then I ricocheted off of the walls. And so when I picked her up from dance that evening, I confronted her about it, and she showed me these tattoos. Then after that, we went to visit the tattoo parlors.
Miss Bruce, I'm going to stop you there. When are you going to be 18, Kara?
September 3rd.
Not so far away. Do you still like your tattoos?
Yes, I do.
Now, your mother wants you to have them removed. Is that a painful procedure?
Yes.
Look, she got these false IDs. I'm not going to even ask her where she got these IDs from. She presented them. She doesn't look as if she's 12 years old. She certainly looks as if she could be over the age of 18. And as long as she acknowledges, and I have certainly here in writing, she signed, giving her consent, indicating, swearing to the fact that she was over the age of 18. Sometimes people, when they write their date of birth, transpose the current year, 01, for their actual date of birth. The answer is yes. So they did what they were supposed to do. The only one who didn't do what they were supposed to do was your daughter.
Okay.
Your daughter. And your daughter is 17. In less than a year, she's going to be 18. She's going to be of the age of majority. Why wouldn't you, instead of bringing this lawsuit against the defendants, say to your daughter, you have to accept responsibility for what you did. You either got or passed off a fake ID. You knew that you weren't supposed to do this. This is something that in our house, in any event, we would oppose, and you did it anyway. And you did it in a sneaky fashion. Now you've got these tattoos. If you want to have them removed, get a job, pay for them to have them removed when you're 18. We're not talking about a 6-year-old child. We're talking about someone who is 7 or 8 months away from being a legal adult. Why do you think that these people are responsible?
It was my understanding that she did not show an ID to Kevin, that the only person who saw her ID at any time in this tattoo parlor was an apprentice by the name of Andrew or Dave.
Doesn't make any difference, Mrs. Bruce. Someone at the tattoo parlor said to her, "Can I see your ID?" She said, "Yes, here's my ID." Then they had her fill out a form. Now, the person who actually did the tattoo didn't have to recheck, just as if you go into a hospital and you're having surgery, you go into an admitting office. In the admitting office, you fill out all kinds of forms, including consent forms. When you're laying on the operating table, the surgeon doesn't say to you, by the way, I'd like to see your identification and fill out some forms again. They're done before, so that when you go in for the procedure, it's all finished. All that paperwork is all finished. Your daughter did the wrong thing. Do I look like I need help from you?
No.
Then why are you raising your hand?
I just wanted to add something to it. I tattooed on her also. If you look at the...
Just a minute.
Okay.
I didn't say yes.
Okay. I apologize.
Do you understand? What I'm saying to you, wait 10 months, and if she wants to have the tattoo removed, she'll have it removed. Don't be mad at them. You gotta be mad at her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Irene Bruce says Dave West owes for removing a tattoo from her 17-year-old daughter, Kira. Dave says Kira used a fake ID.
Okay. You got to put the blame where it belongs. The blame belongs with your daughter. If she had gone into that tattoo parlor and nobody said to her, let me see your ID, I say, you got a case. But they asked for her ID. She had a fake ID.
That looks nothing like her, I'm sorry.
I want to tell you something. I like to look at my driver's license and say it looks nothing like me, too. I look at my passport and I say, who is this person?
Right.
All right? So.
But she is neither 5'3" or 100 pounds. And if
I lie on my passport, I lied on my driver's license. I've been 100 pounds now since I was 8 years old. It doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
It's her responsibility. You can't transfer that to them.
Okay.
But if she wants to take it off, let her get a job.
Okay.
Let her pay for it.
She does. Okay. The other thing, when I visited the tattoo parlor, I spoke with Kevin. We called Dave, who said if he was going to have to pay to have this tattoo removed, that he wanted the sheriff called and my daughter arrested. I did call the sheriff from the studio. There were 3 officers that were present. They did state that it was a civil matter and that we needed to resolve it between us.
Because you wanted your daughter arrested.
Don't speak to her. Look at me.
So I can't abide lies when presented in front of me, ma'am.
Don't
Thank
speak.
you.
I can't abide speaking out. Go ahead.
I did tell the officer that if they needed to arrest her, she needed to be responsible for her actions, and whatever their decision was, she would have to live with it. But they advised us to work it out in an amicable way. So Dave West did sign an agreement to pay half of the cost of the removal of the tattoos that were put on her body by Body Bazaar. He also requested that I obtain an estimate for the cost of the removal of the tattoos,
Just a minute.
which I did.
You signed this on October 27th that you would help pay half the cost of removal of her tattoos? Sir, this is your
Yes,
handwriting?
basically I signed. I was forced into signing it. There was 3 cop cars in my driveway blocking my driveway to my business. She said basically that she wasn't going to leave until I signed a piece of paper saying that I would help her pay for it. I got people trying to pull in my driveway. They can't come in. I'm losing business.
Listen to me, sir. All you do is go outside and say to the police, I have asked this woman to leave my shop. She refuses to leave my shop. She is now trespassing. Have her removed.
I wasn't aware of that. I did.
Well,
I was under a lot of stress. I had 3 cops at my business.
You may have been a lot of other stress,
I had
but
an
you
angry
signed
mother
this.
forcing me. I was
you
being
signed
under
this piece of paper.
I sure did, under duress. I was basically forced into it. I was under a lot of stress. I had cops at my business.
Mr. West, ignorance of the law is no excuse. I would dismiss the case. I'm telling you right now, this case would be over. I don't believe it's your responsibility. But you agreed to not pay half. It says, I, Dave West, will help pay half of the cost of removal of the tattoos. He doesn't say he's going to pay half. He says he'll help pay half. Now, that may be semantics, but since I feel as if it's so unjust for him to pay everything, or even half, I'm going to interpret what he says based upon the exact letter of this note, which says I will help pay half. And the total amount is a couple of $1,000. Half of that would be $1,000. So he's going to help pay half of the $1,000. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $100. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Your responsibility. Deal with it.
I still feel that he's responsible for accepting an identification that did not look anything like her.
She basically committed a crime. We were victims of it.
I wanted the tattoos.
We were a professional operation.
The tattoos should be removed.
Seat, please.
Ms. Ross, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were engaged to be married.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you live together?
Yes, Your Honor.
From when to when?
I believe it was June of '99.
And when did you separate?
January of 2000.
January of 2000 or 2001?
2001.
Your Honor, we started dating at that time. We weren't actually living together in June of '99.
Well, when did you start to live together is what I want to know.
He moved into my place in Roseville originally in 1999.
What month?
It was in October.
October of '99, not June. Okay. Now, at that time, you claimed that he suggested to you that you get rid of your furniture because his grandmother was going to buy you some new furniture.
Yes.
And you did that. Grandmother purchased new furniture, but there was an agreement that you would pay the credit card bill on the furniture. It is your claim that after you separated, he came and took all the furniture out of storage and that you had, in fact, paid for half of that furniture during the time that you were living together, so you want the value of half the furniture. The defendant says that he paid for the furniture, he's still paying for the furniture. When was the furniture purchased?
So on the March 15th, 2000.
And what furniture was purchased in March of 2000?
It was pretty much a whole recline, a living room set.
Living room set, so far, is that right?
Yes.
A bedroom set, plus a dining room table.
Table?
But that was not on the credit card. That was paid in cash to his mother.
Is that right?
That was given to me from my mother. It was our dining room table from her previously
So that was a gift, so let's forget the table.
Yes.
And that was all purchased in March of 2000 on a credit card. Grandma's credit card.
Yes.
How much do you say you put towards this furniture?
$1,000 about.
$1,000 about?
Within the year that we got the furniture, each month that we paid a month.
Were you sharing the expenses of living together?
Pretty much.
Not pretty much?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were?
Yes.
And how were you sharing them? What were you doing at that time? Were you working?
Yes.
What kind of work were you doing?
At the time I was dancing.
Dancing?
Yes, at that time.
And how much money were you earning dancing?
$1,000 a week, usually.
So you put money into a joint checking account?
No, we had our own separate accounts. But I would give him cash to pay for bills, and he would write it out as the man of the house.
Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
Well, tell me how it worked.
Basically, she kept her money, I kept my money, we split the bills, and we came together to purchase things together, and the things that were purchased together, she was allowed to take with her when she left. But we had separate checking accounts, and she never came home and gave me, you know, large amounts of money.
I didn't say large amounts of money.
Well, she said that
what you're saying to me is that she's correct that you did, in fact, share joint bills and purchase things together.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that you decided to purchase together was this living room set and the bedroom set.
No, Your Honor.
Well, tell me why not.
Because when we agreed to move in with each other, she put her furniture in the stores because I said that my mom was going to buy me furniture and that we could use my furniture.
You said my furniture?
Yes, my furniture.
Mr. Miller, were you engaged at that time?
No, we were not.
When did you become engaged?
Only about 3 months after we moved in together.
You moved in together in October of '99.
The whole timing thing is a little confusing to me because...
Well, but try not to make it confusing to me, Mr. Miller, because I'm supposed to be able to resolve this case.
Sure.
The furniture was purchased in March of 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, were you engaged at the time that the furniture was purchased?
No.
Were you engaged at the time the furniture was purchased?
He proposed to me Father's Day, which was May.
Father's Day is in June. Of what year?
Of year 2001.
June 2001 is when he proposed to you. So he proposed to you 5 months after he left you.
No, I'm sorry. I meant to say, I apologize. I meant to say that I recollect that he proposed to me. It was right around, I'm trying to remember because there was a big, it was
All right, now
May.
listen to
It
me.
was in
This
May.
is what I want you to do. I'm going to sit here very quietly for a moment. I want the two of you to recognize that you're involved in a trial. At a trial, I'm asking you rather simplistic questions. I'm asking you to tell me certain dates so that I can make a determination as to whether this furniture was purchased. for you as a couple? Was purchased as an individual by a parent? What were the ramifications of the engagement? So I want you to take a deep breath and think. When did you meet? When did you move in together? When did he propose? When was the furniture purchased? Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now just be calm. Think. You don't look like you're thinking.
Are you ready for an answer?
Are you ready to give me an answer?
I'm ready to give you an answer.
Okay. When did you move in?
In October.
October of what year?
October of 2001.
And when did you propose?
About 4 months after that.
February of 2001. When did you purchase the furniture?
June 3rd.
June of?
2001.
2001. So you purchased the furniture, Mr. Miller, after you became engaged.
No, that's not what happened.
No, there's just a second. This is what you just told me. Let me go back, Mr. Miller.
Okay.
You told me that you moved in October of 2000.
Okay.
You told me 4 months after you moved in, you became engaged. That would be February of 2001. Then you told me you bought the furniture in what month and year?
I'm looking at the first payment. It says June 3rd, 01, so...
So you bought the furniture after you became engaged?
No, I gave you the wrong answer on the date, but I didn't... The furniture was purchased after, or before we were engaged, 3 or 4 months before. And I might not
according
have...
to the scenario you just gave me, Mr. Miller, after you thought very carefully.
Well, I'm not...
Go ahead. Now, be quiet. You got it. You had a turn. You had your turn. You took your best shot. All right, Miss Ross, was the furniture purchased before or after you became engaged?
After.
Oh, okay.
I mean, before. I meant to say before, I'm sorry. Because I remember sitting down on the dining room set when he bent down and proposed to me, and we had our furniture purchased. It was there at the house.
I love this.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Anna Maria Ross says after a physical fight with fiancé Steve Miller, she broke off the engagement. She is suing for half the cost of their furniture.
I want to see what's the balance remaining on the credit card for the furniture. Don't give me a whole bunch of papers, just show me the balance. Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. This case is becoming all too painful for me. Could you read this?
You have on your reading glasses.
I know, but look at this here.
I know.
Look at that there. Can you see that?
Whoa. I see the new balance here, Judge. It says $2,478.68.
Is that the new balance, sir? Is that what's left on the
Yes.
And what was the original purchase price of the furniture, Miss Ross?
About $3,000 almost.
We're in a court.
Excuse me,
I want
I'm
to know
not-
the exact amount.
Because there were separate payments, I can't find the total amount of the entire furniture. Ma'am.
Let me take a look.
Because there were different...
Trying to think of how many years my father
this
paid
is-
to educate me for this. Did you folks ever learn about being prepared? You know, you come to court, you're prepared, you have all your information, you have numbers, it's all down there. It's in... I mean, I'm not asking you anything that goes outside of the lawsuit that you brought. I'm not asking you about what caused the breakup or, you know, whether you liked each other towards the end. I'm not asking you any of those soft questions. I'm saying, when did you buy the furniture? How much did it cost? How much is left on the furniture?
Your Honor, may I speak?
No, just give me a number. When you buy furniture, you have a bill. The bill says one chair, $200, one table, $300, one bedroom set, $900.
Brown ones are like the
Your Honor, if she would have purchased the furniture, she would probably have that information.
Good, so you
I have
purchased
the
it. You
original.
so you purchased it. Give it to me.
I don't.
You know, no. So you purchased it. Give it to me.
I don't. I did not purchase it. My grandma
These must
purchased
be
it.
duplicates, yeah, like that.
Well, then maybe we ought to dismiss this case and let your grandmother stand in your place. Well. Thanks, Bert.
Your Honor, may I state that in the beginning of the relationship, I had my own set of furniture that I purchased on my own. He sold it to his friends,
And then we got the new stuff, and he lived in we've lived in 3 separate places since we've been together. This last prior place was with this furniture.
Listen to me very carefully. The furniture was purchased for about $3,000. There is almost $2,500 left on the bill. If you are not paying that bill, then you are not entitled to any furniture. Do you understand? You don't want to take out a loan, do you, and pay off this furniture?
No,
of course not. And since you don't want to take out a loan, pay off his grandmother's credit card, or put that amount on a new credit card of yours so that she is no longer responsible, right? You can't have the furniture. Period. Goodbye. Thank you very much. This case was very painful.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You know, I'm happy with the outcome. You know, I don't feel that she deserved the furniture.
He ripped me off.
When 2 people come in a relationship with their own property, I think they should leave with their own property.
Never mess with the loser ever again.
Now, this is case number 522 on the calendar in the matter of Welch versus Woods. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Welch, you rented a room in your condo to the defendant. Now, I've read your whole complaint, and it appears to me that the primary reason that you evicted him was really twofold. The first one, and most importantly, you found him a little weird.
Right.
You also had him served with a restraining order, which had him removed immediately from the condo. Second, because you say he was not paying his rent. You claim that at the time he was evicted, he owed you a substantial amount for rent, $1,700 or more. Plus, he left the room a mess. You want cleaning fees and carpet fees, whatever. That's what your complaint is about.
Yes.
Mr. Woods says that you really had no basis to evict him, that he was really not so late in his rent. He certainly doesn't owe you anywhere near $1,700 in rent. He is counterclaiming for the return of his security deposit and also for defamation, because he says that you lied when you got the restraining order. That's your counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you rent this room to him?
He moved in on October 15th, 2001.
And how did you find him as a roommate?
Through a place called Housing Helpers, which is a roommate finding service.
Did he sign a lease?
Yes, he did.
Now, when he moved in on October the 15th, what was his rent?
$550 a month plus half of utilities.
And did he pay you half of October's rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did he give you a security deposit?
Yes, in the amount of $200, Your Honor.
Did he pay you November's rent?
Yes.
When did he move out?
February 12th, I believe.
Did he pay in December?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he pay in January?
Your Honor, he gave me $200 towards bills in late January.
In November and December, had he given you any money for bills?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in January, the only money he gave you was $200?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to say that that's rent. So he owed you $350 for January.
For rent, Your Honor, yes.
And by the beginning of February, you had already told him to leave?
Yes.
Now, first I want you to explain to me how you get to $1,375 for rent money.
Well, the lease was signed through April 15th, and he could not come up with money starting January 25th is when rent was due. He also got fired from his job, so I knew that there was going to be no money coming in. I served him with the 3-day notice to pay or quit. He did not come up with the money.
Just a second. Are you telling me that this almost $1,400 that you say he owes you in rent is because he signed a lease through April and you want him to pay February, March, and April?
Because he's in violation of his...
Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes.
Forget it. You had him evicted. You had him evicted. You had him evicted, and now you want him to pay for rent when he wasn't there?
I had him evicted because he couldn't pay his rent. I couldn't have him living there for free, and a condition of the contract was that he's responsible for subletting.
Miss Welch, I want you to get that out of your mind.
Okay.
You evict a tenant, and you get a restraining order that prevents them from coming near your house, which is what you did.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Then you don't come to court and say, now I want him to give me the rent for the rest of the lease. Does that sound dumb to you? Does that sound dumb? Who knows? Maybe he would hit the lottery in February and he'd have plenty of money. This is not a new form of lottery, Miss Welch. Okay. Now, let's get the date that you went and made an application for the restraining order.
The restraining order was on February 4th.
Now, on what date did you serve him with his first 3 days notice to quit?
That was on February 1st.
Okay. Now, between February 1st and February 4th, what happened that made you feel threatened in order to give you the ability to get this restraining order?
Well, he didn't. When he couldn't come up with the money, he refused to leave within the 3 days, and he began posting notes
around the house saying why he did not need to leave.
Well, let me see the notes that you have. I assume that you saved them.
On the notice to pay or quit, he wrote at the bottom of them, you should please think about what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Let me see. Okay, this says, the law protects my rights as well as yours. Think about what you're doing, or at least how you're doing it. Okay? It's not a threat.
He became angry, and he came to my bedroom door when I posted the notice to pay or quit, and I'm sleeping, and I wake up to him standing at the bedroom door and flipping the light switch on and off, which my computer was hooked into, so I could hear the computer turning on and shutting down. And this was not the first time that this kind of behavior had happened, and it was creepy to me as a female. And then I remembered a call from the Boulder police about a woman filing a complaint to him, and I thought for my safety I should check it out. So I went to the Boulder Police Department, and they gave me a copy of this police report filed by another female in the community. And it was really frightening to me.
Mr. Woods, was there any reason why you wrote this sexually explicit note to this person that you'd never had any contact with before?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the reason?
Because I found her attractive and wanted to have relation with her.
What kind of relations?
Friendship and sexual relations.
I mean, but you don't start out with this note by saying, you know, I'd like to have dinner, I find you attractive. You start out by saying, hey there, I want you right now, you make me so hot. I mean, is that the way to start out? Is that the way to start out with somebody?
No.
That's not the way people in a civilized society, you know, operate. They at least start out with, how about a drink, you know, or a cup of coffee. This would never work for you, right?
I'm a married man, Jerry.
Paid rent and cleaning fees. Sarah says she evicted Christopher after he began leaving sexually explicit notes around the house.
Now, in here, Miss Welch, you write in your application for this temporary restraining order, you write, Chris writes sexually explicit notes and leaves them lying around the house. Now, I would like to see an example of that sexually explicit note.
I have a couple examples.
Good.
One is sexually explicit, one is just kind of creepy. It's his observations of a stranger walking the dog.
All right. Can you explain this note?
Yes, I did pass the note to the lady with the dog, and she in fact gave me her phone number and told me to contact her.
That was a mistake.
You know, I don't know exactly what the note says.
She's talking about this lady who was walking a dog, and she had long, beautiful, dark hair that accents the sunlight. Nobody ever said that to me when I was walking my dog.
Very poetic, very poetic.
What does this say? I need some...
I need some.
These notes are a little creepy, a little strange. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm not going to go into it any further than that, but they are a little creepy. I think it's a good idea that you decided that he was to go, and if you decide that he was to go and he went, my question to you, Miss Welch, is why would you be so foolish as to sue him for nonsense? Why wouldn't you just chalk it off to bad judgment?
Your Honor, I'm a human services worker. I don't make a lot of money, and there was a lot of incidentals that added up, and it was...
Anything worth your safety?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then my question is, if you are frightened enough and concerned enough to get a restraining order against Mr. Woods, common sense would suggest that despite the fact that you may be on a fixed income, you don't make a lot of money, you would say to yourself, this was a bad idea, but I'm out of it. Why would you want to have any more contact with Mr. Woods by bringing a case where maybe he owes you $500?
Your Honor, I debated that myself.
So?
I understand your point, Your Honor.
Good. Now let me see the pictures of the room that he left and the damage that you say he did. How come you made such a mess on the carpet, Mr. Woods?
I guess I'm a messy person. I have no excuse for that.
Okay. Looks to me like you'd probably need new carpeting in the bedroom where he was. And as far as the paint on the walls, throw a coat of white paint on it, you're all set. That should cost you about $17. All right, now let me see the bill for the carpet. $94. Okay, so now, as far as I'm concerned, he owes you $444. Mr. Woods, now let's get to your counterclaim. First, let's do the part dealing with defamation. Your claim for defamation deals with her application for a restraining order, is that right?
Yes.
Forget it. She had just cause to file an application for a restraining order. She says that you had come into her bedroom at least on one occasion, turned on the light while she was in there. You can't do that. Now, you want your deposit back. You gave her a $200 deposit, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to deduct the $200 deposit from the $444, leaving $244, because she's keeping your deposit, sir, because you made a mess of the carpet and you owed her some money for rent. Do you understand?
I understand.
He doesn't have to pay you for the balance of the lease. Certainly, some of these things were bizarre and weird, and I can, as I said to you, understand why you felt uncomfortable, and you probably did the right thing. But then you don't get an opportunity to sue him for the remainder of the lease because you had him evicted. So he owes you $244. So I assume that you've had enough of roommates.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very smart. If you can't afford to live there by yourself, and you don't bring in strangers into your house unless you really push to a financial wall. Okay, thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was very stressful. I couldn't sleep and was concerned about his presence.
Just so that people know I'm not a bad guy.
He ended up being a lot different than what he said he was.
I didn't want to hurt that lady by any means.
Every time I have confronted him on them issues, he got really agitated.
I didn't mean to offend them by the letters.
I just say rent to friends.
Definitely think twice about who you move in with.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Collingwood versus Berkelin, step forward, please.
Jeff and Tamara Collingwood are suing Tamara's brother, sales consultant Jim Berkland, for the unpaid balance and damages on a 1999 Mazda Protege.
Miss Collingwood, this is your brother.
Yes, correct.
From what I gather, about 4.5 years ago, you had a car that you were leasing, correct? And your brother was just getting married, and you made an arrangement with him to take over the payments on the car. And at the end of the lease, the arrangement was that he was going to buy the car.
Correct.
Is that right, sir?
Correct.
And he did, for 4.5 years, pay for the monthly payments on the lease, and then decided he didn't want to purchase the car. So you want him to pay the turn-in fee that you had to pay for the car, and in addition, the car was damaged while it was in his care over the 4.5 years, and you had to pay several $1,000s to have the car fixed before you could turn it in. So you want the out-of-pocket expenses that you incurred as a result of his use of the car, right?
Correct.
So?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Collingwood claimed Tamara's brother, Jim Berkland, owes for breaking a lease on a Mazda Protege. The couple also claims Jim severely damaged the vehicle.
Now, you acknowledge that the car was damaged while it was in your possession.
Yes, ma'am.
And it wasn't just recent. It happened several times while the car was in your possession.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you purchase the car as you agreed to 4.5 years ago?
The agreement was $5,000 at the end of the lease. They said they might be able to drop it down a sum. When my bank told me it was $6,400, I told them I'm not going to pay that much for the car for the last 4.5 years. Basically, I paid $18,000 out of my pocket already on the vehicle. I said I was not going to pay the $6,400. You can keep the car. Then they informed me if I turn the car in, it will have to be a $300 turn-in fee, which I was not aware of. Plus, I had to fix all these things that was wrong with the car. That was a lot of it wear and tear, windshield cracks, whatever, chips from rocks. I told them they can have it. I went over and parked it in the parking lot, told them where the keys were, take it and get out of my face. I wasn't going to purchase the car at that price that we did not agree upon.
Is that right?
Incorrect. I told him it'd be around $5,700, and there's tax on top of that, too.
Okay. So what you really did was you stiffed your sister.
No, ma'am. They stiffed me.
No, they did not. Did you go out and buy another car?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What year car did you buy?
A 2000.
And what year car was this?
A 99.
Did the car that you bought have the same kind of damage as the car that you turned in?
Yeah, probably.
What do you mean, yeah, probably? Don't be a smart aleck with me.
It was pre-owned.
Oh. Listen, it's not my fault that you have an obnoxious brother.
I know.
But if you had an obnoxious brother, I would not have made a business arrangement with him. Because anybody that's not only obnoxious but not smart because he thinks that he can get away in front of me with being obnoxious and stupid.
His whole life that way.
Well, but you entered into a business relationship with him.
Looks I love
I mean,
him.
the guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Listen.
Got a lesson learned.
How old are you?
31.
Are you a married person?
Currently going through divorce.
Sounds like a smart girl to me. You have children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
1.
How old?
4.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a sales consultant.
Are you on salary or commission?
Commission.
At least people are smart enough not to pay you a salary. Now, you made a business arrangement with your sister. You made an arrangement with her that she would turn over her car to you, a car that she had a lease on, because clearly the reason you did that was because you lacked sufficient credit to do the deal yourself at that point. I assume that that's true because if you had sufficient credit, you would have gotten your own lease, you would have made whatever kind of an arrangement you wanted, but you thought that this was a good deal. So it is clear to me that you would not have entered into this arrangement with your sister if you didn't feel as if it was to your advantage.
You know,
so I'm speaking. So what you did was you entered into an agreement with her, and at the end of the lease, who are you?
I'm Nick. I'm here to support my friend.
Nick, I just want you to sit there and be quiet and don't smile. Just sit there and be quiet. At the end of the 4.5 years, you realize, why am I going to pay for this old piece of junk that I haven't taken care of over the 4.5 years? I can probably get myself a car much cheaper, and who cares if I screw my sister? Can I please see what it cost you to fix the damage on the car
And
that
also,
he did?
Can I say something, ma'am?
This one. Also, he was aware of the damages that he did to the car because every time he did something, he would tell us.
Explain to us how he did it.
Yeah, he told me how he did it. He hit a curb, he hit a tree, whatever. He hit things. I don't want to see that. All I want to see are the bills.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can I see the payout, please?
We haven't received the bill, but it has not been paid for yet.
Well, let me see the letter from them indicating that they are going to come after you for...
We have not received it at this date. We have not received anything from them, and I have not called them to ask for it.
Oh, listen to me very carefully, Miss Collingwood. I will enter a provisional judgment in your favor pending receipt of the bill, and the check will be made out to the lender, not to you, if they come after you for the bill. But certainly, I'm not going to direct that he pay you if there's a possibility that you're not going to have to pay them. Yes, now you can speak.
Ma'am, she told me $5,000. She didn't tell me $5,700. They said $5,000. I might be able to drop it to you less. Sure, there's damage on the car.
Just a second. Who is they said? Listen to me. Who is they that said I may be able to drop it to you less?
My brother-in-law, Mr. Collingwood here.
He's not making any money from this. He just wants you to pay off the car. You go into a lease arrangement, you find out exactly what the monthly payments are, what the buyout is. You find out.
I asked 4 times.
You don't ask
over 4 years, I asked them for a lease agreement. They would not furnish it to me. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
That is not true.
You didn't give me a lease agreement.
Listen to me. Mr.
Did
Buckland.
you furnish me a lease agreement?
No, because
what don't you understand?
Constantly.
What don't you understand? Don't speak to him. You're in a courtroom. You're not at a tea dance. You're in a courtroom. You don't speak to him. When you enter into a lease, what you do is...
I didn't enter into a lease, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did.
I didn't sign nothing.
Please.
I paid their car payments and helped their credit out for the last 4.5 years.
Right. I have great credit.
Yeah, thanks to me.
What's your wife's name?
She asked me not to mention on air, ma'am.
Good.
She's just white.
Mrs. Berkeland.
Yes, ma'am.
Smart lady. She has a chance of recovering a life. Judgment for the plaintiff provisionally in the amount of $2,100 as soon as I get the bill. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You may step out.
It was great. She listened and understood her circumstances.
Hopefully my sister and I can mend after all this.
I'm sure it's mendable.
Homemaker Lisa Dyer is suing her sister-in-law, homemaker Sonia Malone, for the return of a ring. Sonia is countersuing for defamation of character and for making threats.
Yeah, this is case number 55 on the calendar, the matter of Dyer versus Malone. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Bird, would you please get from Miss Malone the ring in question?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Oh, it's okay. Take care.
Very nice. Miss Dyer, Miss Malone is your sister-in-law. She's married to your brother, and before this whole incident with this piece of jewelry, the two of you enjoyed, according to what I've read, a very cordial, friendly relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
According to you. It is your claim that Miss Malone has your ring.
Correct.
She says that you lost it, her niece found it, her niece sold it to her. That's how she came into possession of the ring. In any event, this is your ring. It is clearly conceded that this ring initially belonged to you. You had it made?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And according to you, your sister-in-law really loved the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, she even wanted to buy it. Anyway, you want your ring back.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Malone says that you tossed the ring out in some clothes that you were giving away. She knows that because she purchased the ring from your niece?
Yes, ma'am.
Who had found the ring. You fixed the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
Put in a new stone or two, and it's your ring. And aside from that, you got paid for the ring from your insurance.
Exactly.
So that finders, keepers, losers, weepers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And in addition, Miss Malone says that you've gone around saying that she took the ring, you threatened her and her family, and she wants the value of the replacement diamond, the fixing of the ring, and she's got a counterclaim. When did you have the ring made?
I had the ring made in 1988.
And when, for the first time, did your sister-in-law tell you she loved the ring? Do you remember?
She was sort of my best friend at the time that I had the ring made and designed. She seen the ring after I had it made, and she always admired the ring. She always begged me for the ring. I'm going to get that ring. You know, I want that ring. And I'm like, no, no, no.
Okay.
She loved the ring.
She wanted the ring.
Right.
Now, when did you stop wearing the ring?
About 2 years ago.
Why?
There was a stone missing.
When did you notice the ring was missing?
I noticed the ring missing a while back. I was so heartbroken over the ring gone, but I never reported to police. And no, I have not made an insurance claim on this ring. Okay, I just want to make that clear. So in May of 2003, she's married to my brother, and I purchased a home in the state of Virginia. So I came to her home, and I announced that I was moving and so forth and so on. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, "Where's that ring?" I'm like, I haven't seen the ring in a while. I'm hoping that when I move, that maybe I'll run across it. And so then I move. It's a lot of transferring from moving from one state to another. So I, in January, came to the defendant's house because I was purchasing cigarettes for her. And so I called my brother and told him I brought his wife some cigarettes and I was on my way over. So I arrived at her home, and I
spoke to your brother, not the defendant?
No, I didn't speak to her. I spoke to my brother and told him I was coming to his home. So when I came to her home and I looked up across the room, I just seen the ring glisten. I knew immediately when it glistened that it was my ring. I went over there and I grabbed her hand and I said, "How did you get my ring?" She's like, "This isn't your ring. This isn't your ring." I said, "Yes, it is, Sonia. That's the ring. You've been begging me forever." "No, it's not." And so I was so upset that I was shaking and panicky and this and the other. And then once I brought it to my brother's attention, my brother says, "Yeah, that is your ring. You know, sis, that is your ring. Now I recall, that is your ring, you know." So she says to me, "Well, I paid $50 for the ring and I've got money involved into it and I'm not just handing over the ring."
Okay. Now, Miss Malone, I'm going to go to you. You tell me where you got this ring from.
I bought it off my niece, Claudette Sparks.
Okay, step up. Your name is Sparks?
Yes.
And how are you her niece?
I'm married through marriage. Her husband is my husband's uncle.
Okay, so on the other side.
Yes.
And how did you acquire this ring?
First of all, I just want to know that, you know, I'm an independent witness. I'm not on either side because I don't want to stand in the middle of family. She was having a garage sale, said that whatever...
Who was having a garage
Lisa, she was getting ready to move, was having a garage sale. She said, whatever clothes is left, whatever you want, come and get it. I went over there with garbage bags. I filled up 16 big black garbage bags.
Of clothes?
Of clothes. I brought them home. I didn't go through them right away. I left them outside because a lot of people give me clothes, and that's what I do. I, put them to the side for whoever could use them. When I was going through the clothes, I started bringing bags at a time in. Didn't know whose it was. I picked up a big pile of clothing, and underneath I saw a ring. At the time I saw it, there were diamonds missing, and it was really dirty. It was all black. I didn't think it was real. I let my daughter play with it. Sonia had seen the ring.
How did she see the ring?
When she had come over, I was showing her my daughter's play jewelry. My daughter had gotten jewelry for Christmas, and it was just in my dresser drawer. We were just going through things, and she saw the ring.
And she asked about it?
Yes.
And what did you tell her, Miss Sparks? Where did you tell her you got the ring?
I told her that I found it laying in the hallway in front of the bathroom. It's exactly like I didn't tell her that it fell out of clothes. I didn't tell her none of that. I told her I found it in front of my bathroom door when I was going through clothes.
When you will go, listen to me, let's be very careful, okay? Because one thing I've learned in my business, if it's not logical, it's usually not true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Her sister-in-law, Sonia Malone, stole her ring. Sonia says she bought the ring from her niece.
Now, if somebody says to you, where did you get that ring? A normal person would not say, I found it on the floor in my bathroom.
Okay, I understand.
Do you understand?
Yes. It fell out of the
They
pile
would
of
say, when I was going through bags of clothes, I found it. Right?
Yes.
The next normal question from somebody who knew what the ring was would say, where did you get the clothes, right?
Yes.
And what did you tell Miss Malone when she asked you where you got the clothes from?
I do believe I told her that these were some clothes from Lisa's garage sale that I had brought over.
Right. Okay. Now, what did she say to you?
She just asked me if I wanted to sell the ring.
And you said?
I said, it's ugly. I would give it to you, but I could use the money, so here.
So here what?
I sold her the ring. I gave it to her.
You sold her the ring for?
$50.
Okay, and she took out $50 and gave it to you?
Yes, in cash.
And you say, I'm an independent witness. So let me tell you where you went wrong in the first place. If I'm part of a family and I go to pick up some clothes, and in the bag of clothes I find something that is valuable or potentially valuable, if I'm a good family member, I call Lisa and say, Lisa, you know what I found in that bag of clothes that I took from you? I found this piece of jewelry. I don't know if it's a good piece of jewelry. It's not, but, I'm sure you didn't realize that you were throwing it out with your clothes. Here's your ring back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right?
Yes. But I was not aware that that was her ring. I had different clothes that were coming.
Baloney. Baloney. Even if you suspected that it might have been coming from her bag, if you suspected it might be yours, a family member says, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially when she said, where did it come from? Light bulb should have gone off in your head. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Sit down. Now, Miss Malone, let's get to you, madam. She told you that she believed that this bag of clothing came from the plaintiff. This is a ring that you had previously seen. So you knew the ring belonged to Lisa,
No,
right?
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Don't be a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Don't be a liar. You knew the ring belonged to Lisa. You thought.
She told me she just found the ring. She didn't say it came specifically out of a bag.
She found the ring where? She just testified. Are you telling me that your witness is lying?
In her house.
She found the ring. What, the ring fairy brought it into her house? She told you how she got it, Miss Malone. Don't fib to me. I'll make you look like a fool. You said, where did you find it? She said, I was cleaning out bags of clothes. What clothes? She already testified to that. So don't be a liar.
I'm not a liar.
Yes, you are. You knew this ring. You had seen this ring over the years. You knew the ring belonged to the plaintiff. You don't even deny your answer that you knew the ring belonged to the plaintiff or that you had a strong suspicion that it belonged to the plaintiff. What you say in your answer is, I bought it for $50.
Correct.
I paid to have it fixed.
Correct.
Therefore, it's mine.
Correct.
Right. Wrong. Wrong. You knew that the ring did not belong to your witness to sell. And you knew that when you gave her $50 for the ring, that it was worth a lot more than $50. So you were not a purchaser without knowledge that this was either lost misplaced, or perhaps stolen. Therefore, now your claim is that you paid $50 for it, which I reject because you shouldn't have paid $50 for it. You shouldn't have paid anything for it. You should have said to her, especially a family member, you better ask Lisa whether that's her ring, whether she intended to give it away. That's what you should have said first. Then when you invested money, you expect to get your money back. Right. You don't get it back. You did the wrong thing. If you do the wrong thing, you don't get the money back. So aside from making trouble in your family, which I'm sure you did between your husband and his sister and everybody else and getting her involved, all because you wanted an extra piece of jewelry, you did the wrong thing. When you do the wrong thing, you're not rewarded. So you don't get the ring back, and you don't get what you paid for it, and you don't get what you paid to have it fixed. She gets the ring back. And
no,
the
ring looked familiar. I asked her if Lisa had seen the ring. She told me that Lisa had offered her $100 for the ring, but she chose not to sell it to her.
Why? Let me tell you something. She says she didn't know whose ring it was. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your witness says she didn't know whose ring it was when she sold it to you. Give her back the ring.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
your first counterclaim, Miss Malone, is that the plaintiff has been telling people that you have her ring wrongfully. Is that right?
She said that I stole the ring. I never stole the ring.
Well, you did. In effect, you did. Because she didn't know that the ring was not an abandoned piece of property. You knew. Now, Miss Malone, there isn't very much question in my mind that if your husband had told you she was coming over, you would have taken off the ring before she got there.
No, that's not true.
Oh, well, for a while she hadn't seen it. And you do wear a lot of jewelry. So my sense is that you probably, had you had noticed that she was coming over, you would have slipped it off your finger and said, I don't want to start any trouble.
That's not true. I didn't think the ring was hers, Your Honor.
I don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Okay.
I don't believe you. Circumstances suggest to me that you knew or should have known, if you wanted to open up your mind, that the ring belonged to Lisa. At least enough that you would have said to her, Lisa, is this yours? All in all, you did the wrong thing. You don't get rewarded for doing the wrong thing. Your counterclaim's dismissed. You have your ring back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't know it was her ring.
She knew this ring. She knew this ring when she seen it from Claudette.
Nobody in the family wants nothing to do with her. She's a trifling lying.
She was my friend, and she was my birth coach for 2 children.
I was not her best friend. I didn't hang out with her.
I'm just glad it's going to be over with now. Maybe, the family can calm down a little bit.
I knew in my heart that I would prevail on this and would get my ring back.
She ain't going to never be around my kids or nothing. She's out of our family.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Matthews versus Hallmark. Step forward.
Department store worker Sharon Matthews is suing her friend's ex-boyfriend, mechanic George Hallmark, for damage to her car. Sharon claims George power braked, spraying her car with rocks.
What's your name?
Cynthia Dodd.
Dodd? Mm-hmm. I assume from what I read, Miss Matthews, that Miss Dodd was the friend that you were referring to in your complaint. Is that right? You were helping, according to you, Miss Dodd move out of Mr. Hallmark's residence. They had been boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right? She called you and asked you, or came over to your home and asked you if you would go over and accompany her while she retrieved some of her property.
Yes.
Because I assume, well, step up for a moment. I assume, Miss Dodd, that you were separating from Mr. Hallmark and it was not a friendly separation. Is that right?
Correct.
How long had you been together?
About 7 months.
You were living in his house?
Yes.
Just the two of you?
Yes.
When did you decide to leave?
When he threw me out.
What date?
The 11th of February.
Had you had an argument?
Yeah, I was taking him to work and he told me to get out of his car and just go away. So I called her mother-in-law and had her come pick me up.
Where did you have her pick you up?
Across the street from his work where he put me out of his car.
And from there, where did you go?
To her mother-in-law's home.
Then there came a time when you went back to his house, is that right, to collect some of her property?
Yes.
And that was also on the 11th?
No, this was on the 23rd of February this year.
Had you made arrangements with Mr. Hallmark to go back and get your things on that date? Tell me about that.
I called and asked him if it would be okay if I came and picked up a few things, and he said that'd be fine.
What things did you want to get?
Just some clothes.
You hadn't gotten any clothes?
No, ma'am.
Did Miss Dodd call you on the 23rd and ask you if she could come over, Mr. Hallmark?
Sure did.
And you said it was okay?
Yeah.
And what happened when she got there?
She got her things. As we were leaving, I pulled up next to her and I said, nice car, Sharon.
Okay. That's
all
what we're
this-
getting. Just a second. So you got your things inside.
Yes.
And it's your claim, Miss Matthews, that at some point during that interchange of property, Mr. Hallmark damaged your car.
Yes, he did.
Now we're going to take it step by step, because he says he didn't, and if he did, it was an old car, or it was an accident. You know, there are a couple of defenses here. He's going to give all of them to me when it's his turn, right?
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you went inside to the house, and you got your things.
Yes.
Did you have any words with him?
Yeah, I asked him to please not start yelling at me like he usually does and threatening me.
Well, what did you say to him, and what did he say to you? She was waiting outside. You were waiting outside?
Yes, I was waiting outside, and I told her, if anything happens, just yell really loud. Or otherwise, if you take too long, I will be out there to knock on the door because we got to go.
Okay. So she went into the house. You went and knocked at the door. And what happened, Miss Dodd, when you knocked at the door?
I asked George if it was all right if I came in and got some stuff, and he said that'd be fine. Then he asked me why I was doing this, and I said, because you threw me out. And I asked him, please stop yelling and don't,
Was he yelling at that point?
He's starting to raise his voice, and he's known to be loud.
Okay. What happened next?
And then he kind of calmed down, and so I finished getting my things, and I got outside.
You brought your things outside?
Correct. To Sharon's car.
Did you put them in the car?
Yes.
What happened next?
We started to back out, and he walked up to her and said, oh, nice car, because she'd just got her car. Like
She was in the. You weren't in the car yet. You were over at your car in the front of the driveway.
I didn't. Just a second.
I'm sorry.
Was she in your car?
I was next to the car.
You were standing next to the car?
Yes.
Now tell me what happened.
Okay, because she had her vehicle that he had pushed out in the road and had towed away like the next day or something, but that's beside the point.
Well, then don't give me what's beside the point. I have to stick to the point. I'm old.
Okay, sorry, but okay, she had walked out to her vehicle and was trying to get into it, but she didn't have the keys, and that's when I backed out of the driveway. And after I backed out and I pulled up just towards her car, going the opposite direction, that's when George went out the driveway too. But he was going up next to my car, and that's when he said something like, nice car, does it run good, or something to that effect.
Did you answer him?
No, I didn't say anything. I just turned up my radio. And at that point, she came into my car and got in the vehicle because she didn't have the keys to her car, and he went around me, and at that point it goes down to where it Y's off. You have to go one way or the other, and there's like dirt and gravel right there at the end of the street. And at that point it seemed like a long time, but it was about 30 seconds where he had power braked his car, and he kept his foot on the brake and put his foot down on the gas and just kept burning out. It seemed like forever because I thought my window had broken quite a few times when it cracked and it hit the windshield and it hit the front end of my car.
Pebbles.
Yeah, well, there's like rocks and dirt and everything down there. It's not a very good street. You
have pictures of the damage to the car?
Yes, I have one picture on it.
What time of the day was this?
It was about approximately 7:30 p.m.
After he revved up his car and caused this debris to go on your car, did he leave?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hallmark, now I'll hear you, sir.
Pardon me?
I'll hear you.
Can you repeat that?
I will hear you.
Okay. What do you want to hear?
I want to hear your version of the events of the 23rd of February, sir.
Yeah? Here's a picture of the corner.
No. I don't want to see a picture of the corner. I want you to tell me what happened.
She came, got her stuff. She was putting her stuff in the car, and I pulled up next to her and I go, oh, nice car, way to go. I went on up to the corner and took off. I punched the gas and it got rocks, but she was still putting her gun in the trunk. And I don't know. The next thing she never asked me to repair it. She never showed me the damage.
What kind
Next
of work?
thing I know, I get the paperwork.
Stop it. What kind of work?
I'm being sued.
Mr. Hallmark, what kind of work do you do for a living, sir?
Mechanic.
What kind of mechanic?
Mechanic.
What kinds of mechanic?
Trucks.
Automotive.
Equipment.
Okay. Are you self-employed or do you work for someone?
Yeah, self-employed.
Where do you work out of, sir?
My house.
So you have a garage in your house?
No, I have a garage at my house.
Did you file tax returns last month?
You know what? You guys can laugh at someone else. I'm out of here.
Okay. Miss Matthews, the defendant has chosen to leave. but I've heard enough after hearing the facts of this case and seeing his demeanor and temper to determine that he maliciously caused damage to your car.
Your Honor,
And he-
I don't... Sorry, ma'am.
You're suing for $700 for a paint job? That's a reasonable amount. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. We'll see someone escorts you out. Thank you.
Can
That's
you
all.
make sure he's not out there?
Yes, we'll
Thank
make
you.
sure someone escorts you outside.
Thank you.
How do you go excuse him?
He's very unpredictable.
That's exactly him. He's crazy. He's very irrational.
He has mood swings very badly.
He's a crazy man.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kurlanchik versus McEnany Burt. Step forward.
24-year-old teacher Jennifer Kurlanchik is suing her friends, 23-year-old student Paul McEnany and 24-year-old inventory controller Mike Burt for damages to a Hummer limo she rented on her birthday. Jennifer claims they broke the sunroof.
Ms. Kurlanchik, you rented a limousine to celebrate, I assume, your 24th birthday, and you invited a whole group of people to go with you. Two of the people you invited were these two gentlemen here, who, according to you, got a little out of hand and caused damage to the limousine. You were charged for the damage, and you want them to contribute to the cost of the damage that they did themselves. They say everybody was sort of involved in the nonsense, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How old are you?
23.
What's your first name?
Paul.
24. Mike.
First name?
Jennifer.
What do you do for a living, Jennifer?
I'm a special ed teacher.
Paul?
I'm a student and I bartend.
Student of what?
Student in advertising.
Logistics management and work as inventory control clerk and as well as go to school.
Look what responsible people we have here. When was your birthday?
February 29th.
How big was the limousine?
Could fit 15 people. It was a H2 Hummer limousine, so it's pretty large.
I've seen those things driving in the street. You can see them coming about a block away. And how do you know these? And how do you know these two guys?
We're friends. We're in the same fraternity, sorority. We're all friends. We're friends.
We're friends.
What kind of damage was done to the limousine?
The emergency exit window flew off on a major highway, shattered pieces, and I was charged the damages.
You mean the roof, like a sunroof?
Yes, it's actually a moonroof, and it flew off. There's 3 ledges to unlatch, and the boys unlatched it, and around 2:30 in the morning, it flew off. I didn't see it fly off. That's my witness saw.
How do you know it was these two boys that unlatched the moonroof?
Well, when the incident happened, Mike looked at me and said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And I didn't know what actually had happened. I was like, okay, fine, you can take care of it. After the incident happened, Paul comes up to me and he says, well, I was touching a button that made the sunroof go up and down. And that's where I was like, oh, so Paul and Mike were doing it. They were also at the back of the vehicle where the sunroof was located, along with Tracy and one of her friends.
So that's all that you know about how this happened?
Mm-hmm.
Step up. Tell me your name.
My name is Tracy.
Tracy what?
Thompson.
Were you sitting at a location where you could observe these two young men?
The way the limo is set up is there's 2 doors in the back. There was a bench seat that went across there, and I was sitting right there. At the top where the moonroof was, there was a stereo, buttons to turn on the lights in the bar. At that point in time, I had seen people playing with all the lights because lights were changing, everything was moving around. Then all of a sudden, moonroof flew off the top of the car. It was gone. Both of these two looked at each other like, what do we do now? So,
how many people were sitting in their general vicinity?
There was one other person sitting next to me, and it was me. It was these two in front of us. And then the rest of the limo went down with people sitting all the way down in the front.
Now you say other people were touching the buttons, other than Mike and Paul?
Not that I know of.
So it was just Mike and Paul touching the buttons?
There were the only 2 that could touch the buttons. There was nobody else around.
Okay. Did you say to Jennifer, when the moonroof flew off, don't worry, I'll take care of it?
That's correct. I did say that, but that was at the end of the night.
Okay. Now, when you said, don't worry, I'll take care of it, were you referring to the moonroof?
No, I was referring to the driver because he was getting a little irate and telling us, who's paying for it, who's paying for it? And as we stopped the car, exited, I told her, you know, we're going to take care of it. We're going to help you out as far as talking to the limo driver, saying who was at fault and this, that, and the other.
Not this, that, and the other thing. So you said to her, don't worry, I'll take care of it, because you were going to explain to the limo driver whose fault it was. Did you do that?
Well, no, at the point in time she asked me to leave, so I left.
So you didn't?
No.
Well, let's say that you did go to the limo driver to explain whose fault it was. What would you have told the limo driver?
I told him what...
Look at me. No, right here.
All right. Basically, I told him...
Not
I would have told him that it wasn't explained to us that this is an emergency escape hatch, because they said later on that it's an emergency escape hatch and it was labeled. No, it wasn't labeled, and the driver never explained to us.
Then you were going to be arguing with him. Let me explain this to you, Mike. Basically, you would have said to the driver, I was touching the buttons with my friend Paul, and the moonroof fell off. But nobody explained to us that it was an emergency door, and it wasn't marked. So how are we supposed to know that it was an emergency door? Is that what you would have said to him?
In so many words, yes.
In less words than you just told me.
Yeah, hopefully.
So you would have said, yeah, we did it. But we didn't know if we touched these buttons and that sort of stuff that this moonroof was going to fall off. It was not properly marked.
Right.
But we did it.
Well, the only thing I had to do with it was I closed it when we got to Dallas. We were leaving from Denton to Dallas. Somebody opened it other than me and Paul. When we got to Dallas, I closed it. That's the last thing I had to do with it. And everybody's pointing fingers at me for some reason. And I'm trying to tell her, no, it's not me. And she doesn't want to buy that. She wants to say, yeah, you did
somebody
it.
Else,
she just basically wants to get her money back.
From what Jennifer told me is there were 3 different latches too, and the only thing I ever touched is the one front latch that I thought would push it up, and it went flying off. So those 2 latches had to be undone, and I know other people around that area. I wouldn't, yeah.
Okay. Now, why did you push that one latch up?
Just to open. I thought it was a sunroof. It looked like a sunroof. Nobody told us it was an emergency exit.
You just wanted to get some air.
Yeah. There's 15 bodies, body heat, and everything else. So we opened up.
So, Jennifer, what?
I have warning signs on the sunroof as well as the latches. There had to be some work done to get these latches to come off. It's not a simple button. It's not
well, maybe it wasn't their fault, my dear. Maybe it was the fault of the limousine.
Can I
maybe.
Shh. Sorry.
Why, you want to fight with me about that?
No.
Maybe it was the fault of the limousine.
Well, I told everybody in this limousine, you do anything, you cause any damages, you break any glass, you're going to be responsible for it, because I had to sign basically.
Shh. Where are you now?
Here.
What is here?
It's Judy.
My space. Go ahead.
I had to sign a blank credit card slip that says we're going to charge you $600 for the flat rate.
Jennifer, my dear, you take 15 people out for an evening of partying. You sign on for a 15-passenger Hummer limousine, and you are going to expect that some damage might be done, for which you are going to be responsible. There isn't a shred of credible evidence that these 2 young men are responsible for that emergency exit. Not at all. The fact that they were sitting around there, the fact that they may have been touching it, the fact that he went to open up one of the latches to let some air in, that doesn't make him responsible. I don't even know if you're responsible. It's quite possible that there was a malfunction by the car. And the fact that the limousine company is charged a credit card, perhaps you should sue them.
The fact that they touched the roof and
so what?
Flew off.
So what? So what? That doesn't make it their fault. I am not satisfied that you have sustained your burden to demonstrate that these 2 young men are responsible, that they either negligently, recklessly caused the damage to the limousine. It is just as plausible that someone else had touched one or more of those things at some point during the evening, and when he opened up one latch to let in some air, the thing fell off. That's also plausible. That doesn't make him responsible. And if the limousine company refuses to give you back your money, sue them. Because I don't think you have a case against these 2 young men. That's all. Case is dismissed.
Why is that excuse you step out?
I think justice was served.
Now I'm out $700 for an action that I had no part of, that they clearly did.
I think she lost her money, and she's just trying to get her money back, and it's, easy target.
We were celebrating my birthday. Of course we were, partying.
Well, we were having a good time. Next thing you know, the sunroof, moonroof, whatever you want to call it, it flew off.
One thing led to another. Sunroof flies off. Both boys say, shh, look at each other. They're guilty. I mean, they caused it to fly off.
She blames us, and she'd rather choose money over friendship, and I think that's really wrong.
We're friends,
Stuff happens.
Well, hopefully we can have a beer and get over it. We'll see what happens.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCaskill versus Poole. Step forward, please.
17-year-old student Matt McCaskill is suing his schoolmate, 16-year-old Anthony Poole, and his father, Rob Poole. Matt claims Anthony keyed his truck.
Mr. McCaskill, is your claim that Mr. Poole, this young man, keyed your car?
Yes,
And Mr. Poole says that he did not do that. I assume you're his father?
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't present, is that right?
No.
You're here only because he's a minor.
That's correct.
You can sit down. When do you say that Mr. Poole keyed your car, sir?
February 25th.
Where?
On the driver's door to the driver's
not where on the car.
Oh.
Where was the car?
Oh, it was at the Midlothian High School parking lot.
What time?
3:40.
And where were you?
I was sitting in my truck.
Well, tell me about that, sir.
It was, I had just arrived, and I was waiting for my girlfriend to get out, and he was in football, which they had got out a little early at 3:40, which the bell rings at 3:45 each day. I had seen him walking down the parking lot. It was rainy, and my windows on my truck are dark, and when he was coming down, he walked between the two trucks and pulled his key out of his...
Walked between which two trucks?
My truck and the truck to the left of me. And he walked through, he pulled out his key out of his left pocket and ran it from the driver's door to the driver's bed, and I had got out.
Okay. Did you know Mr. Poole before?
I have known of him. I've never met him.
Had you ever seen him before?
Yes, ma'am.
Where had you seen him before?
I had seen him at school and the Whataburger parking lot in Midlothian.
Immediately prior to the 25th of February, when had you seen him? A week, 2 weeks?
About a week.
Did you have any conversation with him?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so after you saw him key your car, what did you do?
I got out and started yelling at him to get back. And
to get back where?
To get back over here because of what he had done, in which he had ran to the football fields or where they play, which is also the baseball field house.
Did you follow him?
Yes, the two eyewitnesses that had seen him were in a 1984 Chevrolet Suburban, in which I hopped in with them and we drove down there.
You have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Did you file the police report on that day, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When was the next time you saw Mr. Poole?
He had ran into the coach's office saying that I was threatening to beat him up, and which he came out running, apologizing that he accidentally did it with his bag and that he would pay for it all costs, and he was sorry.
And who did he say this in front of?
Well, the principals had just arrived down there, and the two coaches that were in the coach's office, because they had taken them into his office while I was outside because I was pretty steamed up.
Do you have any other school reports?
No, I don't, but I have pictures and estimates.
I'll take a look at the pictures. Is this your truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you buy it with your own money?
Yes, ma'am.
How long do you have it?
I just had got it probably 2 weeks prior to the incident.
Is this your first car?
No, it was my second one. My mom had bought my first one, and I told her she could have it back, and so...
So this is the first one you bought for yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Poole, now I'll hear you.
I walked out of the football field house. Before then, there was an incident at Whataburger. One of my friends told me some guys were making racial slurs about my girlfriend. One of the guys that he mentioned his name that I knew was in football. I said something to him. I asked him if they had something to say it to me. Don't say it to her. That's disrespectful. The next day, two guys were waiting outside the football field house. They're asking me to come over to the car saying, I bet you won't say something.
Look at me, sir. Don't look all over the place.
Yes, ma'am. They're asking me to come over to the car and say something to them.
Who was asking you to go over to what car?
I've never seen them before, or the car.
Was it Mr. McCaskill's car?
No, ma'am.
I don't know. I'm not following your story. Go ahead. Somebody wanted you to say something to somebody. Come on. Did you key his car?
No, ma'am.
No. When he was chasing you, why were you running away?
Because of the two people before him. They followed me in the parking lot.
When you got into the coach's office, did you say, I'll pay for the damage? When you, just listen to me carefully, when you got into the coach's office,
Yes, ma'am.
did you say, I'll pay for the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell your father that you said, I'll pay for the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you tell your father that you said you would pay for the damage?
That night. But I said that I'd pay for it if my backpack left a scratch. He said on the statement that he heard me run by his car and a scratching sound. And I said, there's metal straps on my backpack. I said, maybe my backpack might have caused the scratching sound. Whenever I saw the king mark, that wasn't from a backpack.
Mr. Poole.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know that if something doesn't make sense, it's usually not true, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And there are certain things that are common sense. Let me tell you what they are.
Yes, ma'am.
If a 17-year-old spends his own money that he's worked for to buy a truck or a car, that's usually their prized possession. And if somebody damages that car, what they want to do is have the person who purposely damaged that car be held responsible. You want to say something,
yes,
sir?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Stand up when you're talking.
Okay. Excuse me, ma'am. The only thing that I witnessed physically was the red whelps on my son's chest from the incident with the, over here on the map where he was walking between the two cars, one of the kids slammed the door open on his chest, and that's why he was...
Not this person.
We're not saying that he did it.
He did nothing.
No.
Do you understand, Mr. Poole, what I just said?
Yes, I do.
A 17-year-old doesn't blame somebody else.
Unless...
Destroying their property, their car.
Right.
Unless it's the person who did it. Unless there is an overriding reason for them to do that.
Or unless he wants a new paint job.
Why would he blame your son? And why would your son say, I'll pay for the damage? What he did was, he caused the damage to the truck, and then he said, maybe it was an accident. Maybe my backpack, that's the story he's telling now, maybe my backpack, as I was walking by, hit the truck and scratched it. So all those things, Mr. Poole, are too serendipitous. The fact that he was there at the time that the truck was scratched. The fact that he witnessed the truck being scratched. The fact that he acknowledged after a chase that, well, maybe it was just, maybe I scratched it, but if I did, it was just by accident. Do you understand? He doesn't say he wasn't there, and he doesn't say he didn't scratch it. He said, if I scratched it, it was an accident. Are you following me?
Yes.
Good. Sit down. Can I see the estimates, please?
Yes.
Got to pay for the damage that you caused, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,196. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Another friend at the school, which is in his football class, had said something, but I had nothing to do because I was waiting for my girlfriend up there, and so I had nothing to do with it, so I didn't think nothing of it.
I didn't want to go to my car and let them see my car, so I just kept running the field house.
Over the phone, they were saying that I had made racial slurs to them and that they weren't going to give me the money.
They made racial slurs. I don't know if it's him or friends, but it doesn't matter now.
Maintenance supervisor David Diekema is suing his stepson, 21-year-old cook Kirk Smith, for unpaid loans to help with his legal troubles. Kirk says he paid him back by mowing the lawn.
Come to order, all rise. Quiet, please. Thank you. Yeah, this is case number 125 on the calendar in the matter of Diekema versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Diekema, this young man is your stepson.
Yes.
I assume that this is your son. Is that right?
Yes.
How old are you?
21.
What's your first name?
Kirk.
According to you, you loaned Kirk some money. He got himself into some trouble.
Yes.
A couple of times. And you bailed him out.
Correct.
He hasn't paid you back, and he promised he would.
Correct.
The first thing Kirk says is that he did borrow the money from you, and in exchange for the money, he said he would mow your lawn for the summer, which he did.
Yes.
That was the payback.
Yes.
Right? That was his first excuse. The second excuse is that his mother told him he didn't have to pay you back. Right?
Correct.
And I can take my choice, one from column A or column B, depending upon how
Well,
it feels.
they're for separate things.
What was the first loan for, Mr. Diekema?
Initially, the one where he was going to mow our lawn was we bailed him out of jail, and he was going to repay us, but he couldn't, and he was going to mow our lawn for us to help to repay that loan. And he did mow our lawn one time.
I mowed the lawn more than once.
Shh, don't answer. Was he living with you at the time?
No, ma'am, he was not.
Was not. All right, well, tell me about this bailing him out of jail. Tell me about it.
That time was in February of 2003, and the bail was $325.
What was your offense, Kirk?
Driving on a suspended license.
What was the license suspended for?
It was suspended for an MIP.
What's an MIP?
Is a minor in possession.
Minor in possession of what?
Alcohol.
Okay. Is that the first time your license was suspended?
No, it isn't.
What was it suspended for prior to that?
For MIPs, a minor in possession of alcohol a couple times, and then for driving on a suspended while suspended.
Been arrested for anything else?
I've been arrested for, when I was a minor, for doing a gas and go.
You know, I've been a judge for a very long time. I'm pretty familiar with the penal law. I never heard of a gas and go.
Well, I went to a gas station and I stole gas, and then I left without paying for it.
So you stole gas?
Yes.
Safe to say, Kirk, you don't abide by the rules.
I try to. I've made some poor mistakes.
You've made a lot of mistakes?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So, $325 was the first bail.
Yes.
And is that what he was supposed to pay back by mowing the lawn?
Yes.
And how many times do you say you mowed the lawn?
I mowed it at least a couple of times, and plus
at least a couple.
Well, it was for more than just the 300. It was for my probation fines that were also with that, and plus for another fee that I'd gotten for counseling.
Fine. $325, and what were the probation fines?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was somewhere around $280.
Okay, $280.
And then the counseling classes were about $350.
$955. Okay. So, right?
That's right.
So, stepfather says you mowed the lawn once. You say I mowed the lawn at least a couple of times. So what you're telling me is, how much property do you have, Mr. Deacon?
It's approximately half an acre.
So you think that you're worth almost $500 a mow for half an acre? Kirk, is that what you're telling me? Doesn't that sound stupid to you?
It does sound stupid.
It does sound stupid. Well, I'm glad you at least say it does sound stupid. Because according to your stepfather, let's say you took your stepfather's figure of $325, and if you mow the lawn twice, according to you, that's $160 a mow. That's even high for half an acre, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
But it's not $500 a mow for half an acre. So you see, what I'm trying to get across to you, Kirk, is if you think that you're going to second guess the answers to these questions, don't do it.
I'm not just second guessing.
Yes, you are, sir. Okay. Because I just made you look very foolish, which wasn't your intention, I assume.
No.
Is this your girlfriend?
Yes.
So I assume you don't want to look like a fool in front of your girlfriend. Did he just look foolish?
I suppose.
You wouldn't think he's worth $500 to mow half an acre, would you?
I don't have a half an acre.
You know what half an acre looks like?
Yes.
You think that that's a lot of money to mow half an acre?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he cuts it with the tweezers. When he only mowed the lawn once, did you say to him, hey, Kirk, the deal was you're supposed to mow the lawn for the summer?
I never see him, so, I came home from work, the lawn was mowed, and that was it. And he rarely ever talks to me. We never have contact, and he hasn't spoken to me in quite some time. So, no, I did not get the opportunity to do that.
Step up. What about you? Did you call your son and say to your son you were supposed to come over and mow the lawn?
That was originally for the $325. He had made a payment of like $100, I think, originally on that.
You gave him $100?
Yes.
Kirk, when you make a partial payment, that's evidence of a loan. Do you know that? I just taught you a piece of law. What's next?
For the next time, we had to pay court fines and court fees of Well, there were several. There was $918 to the 59th District Court. There was $200.
What is that? Was that for?
That was, he was either going to go to jail or we paid $918 to keep him out of jail.
Was that a different time, Kirk?
It was for the driving on a suspended.
Well,
That's
you
the
had
only violation they bailed me out of jail for.
You had several of those, according to you.
Yes, I have had several, but that was the only one that they've bailed me out of jail for, the only time they've bailed me out of jail for anything.
Well, that's $918.
And I'm deeply under the impression, because in Zealand, the police officer, I had got pulled over, and a police officer said that I was told on by Mr. and Mrs. Bell for driving on a suspended license. And so I was under the impression that my mother is the one who's told on me for driving on a suspended and got me the bail fines, and I've been under the impression that she bailed me out of feeling sorry. And it's not something I've brought up to her because, you know, I don't...
Just a minute. So what you think is that your mother notified the police that you were driving I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
That you were driving on a suspended license because you were driving on a suspended license for the second time. And that you believe that the reason she bailed you out of jail was because she felt guilty about having told the police that you were breaking the law. Is that what you're telling me? I just want to make sure that that's what you're telling me.
Yes, Your Honor, but...
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Ikema says his stepson, Kirk Smith, owes for loans to bail him out of jail. Kirk says his mother forgave the loan.
How much did you lend him altogether?
Altogether, it was $3,476.
And how much did he pay back?
$1,150.
Okay, Kirk, you got 30 seconds to convince me that you don't owe your stepfather $2,326. And your time starts right now.
Well, I feel that, you know...
Forget mowing the lawn.
I've forgotten about it. They haven't been, you know, done much for me, and this time that they helped me out, they told me, it wasn't my mom that told me I didn't have to pay it, but it was Dave. He said, you know, don't worry about it, you know, get yourself on track and all that kind of stuff. And that is why I feel that I don't owe that.
I did tell him at one time that he did not have to worry about making timely payments because he could not make the payments, and that it was okay if we stretched it out beyond the original time that we set up, he and I agreed upon.
Which was what time?
We agreed upon 1 year to pay this money back, and so there were several times where he could not make any payments to me, and I said that that was okay, we'll just stretch the loan out longer, but that did not mean that he did not have to pay that.
You did not forgive the loan, you just gave him additional time to pay it.
That is correct.
Could you ever tell your son he didn't have to pay back the money?
No. No, it was Dave that told me that.
Well, that's not what you say in your answer. In your answer you say it was your mother.
Well, because earlier you asked me and you said that my mom told me it was Dave, and I mistakenly said the wrong person. I'm correcting myself now. It was Dave that had told me that, and he did say that.
You make a lot of mistakes, Kirk.
Yeah, I do.
Where are you working now?
I work at the New Holland Brewery.
Yeah, all these people think that that's very funny. I mean, it's rude of them, but there is a certain honesty about it that is inescapable. You owe your stepfather $2,326. Take care of your responsibilities. You're 21 years old?
Yes.
Stop making mistakes. You're getting too old to make mistakes.
I know.
And I would suggest that you stop making mistakes, too. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I would like to see us move forward and be able to look beyond this.
I've never really, gotten to know him to begin with.
Hopefully everybody can learn that this was a lesson and forgive.
The police officer in Zealand had told me that somebody had called the cops and he made inclination on who it was.
Just hope he learns from it, that's all.
I can't really say there's been much of a relationship to begin with, so...
I hope that we can have a relationship in the future.
All parties in the matter of Martin versus Martin. Step forward.
26-year-old insurance sales assistant Karen Martin is suing her ex-husband, home improvement salesman Kevin Martin, for stealing her share of a tax refund. Karen claims Kevin forged her signature on the check.
Ms. Martin, the defendant is your former husband. It is your claim that there was a government refund check in the amount of $400 that was issued to both of you. It is your claim that Mr. Martin forged your signature to that check, cashed that check, and you want your $200.
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Martin says there was no check that he received. He did not forge your name to any check. and he, quite frankly, doesn't know what you're talking about. So let us assume for a moment that a refund check was sent to Mr. and Mrs. Martin. So your obligation now, Miss Martin, is to establish that he forged your name to that check.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you.
Okay. I do have a copy of the check where it's signed by him, and that is not my signature.
Okay.
I do have other...
Okay, let me see it.
Okay.
Mr. Martin, the Family Service Center. You familiar with that institution?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about that institution, sir.
It's a credit union that we had, as we were married, had an account there.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to tell me, clearly this check was sent to the two of you, and clearly it was endorsed by two people.
I never knew anything about the check. I never even knew that we were getting some kind of tax credit check.
How did you find out about the check, Miss Martin?
My cousin had received hers, and she had asked me if I got anything on it, and
These were the checks that were $400 that were issued to families by President Bush, is that right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. It was $400 per child, and she had received hers and asked me if I received mine, and I said, no, I didn't. Mm-hmm. And I had called Kevin, asked him about it.
And what did he say?
He said, he had still said, I have no idea what you're talking about. How do you, actually he said, how do you know that or how does he know that I didn't forge his signature?
So, Mr. Martin, what I'm asking you is that the conversation you had? How do I know you didn't forge my signature? Right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the answer. The answer is you weren't calling her to complain that you didn't get your $200, right?
I never knew.
No, listen to me.
Okay.
You weren't calling her, Mr. Martin, to complain that you didn't get your $200.
No.
Because according to you, you didn't know about it. So why would she call you to complain? Listen to me. Call you to complain. If she had forged your signature to the check so that she got the entire $400 and you weren't calling her to complain about it, you get my drift, sir?
I understand what you're saying.
Old story. If it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. And if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So somebody from your credit union cashed this... I'm speaking. Somebody from your credit union cashed this check with a signature that I have compared with the signature on your answer and with a signature that I have compared with the signature on Miss Martin's complaint. And while that's not necessarily dispositive of who forged whose signature, the signature on this check, your signature on this check, is eerily similar to your signature on the answer, while her signature on the check is no way similar to her signature on her complaint. So I put those facts together, and you know what I came up with? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all. Step out.
All these are excused and then step out.
She's accused me of...
All parties in the matter of Dallahan versus Tinley. Step forward.
Plaintiff Ross Dallahan is suing his daughter, day spa owner Karen Tinley, for the return of $500 he paid for a family picture. Karen says her father is bitter because her mother left him.
Mr. Dallahan, Miss Tinley is your daughter.
Yes, it is.
And you are suing your daughter for $500 because you say you gave her $500 and there were certain stipulations. There was a contract. The contract was she was to do certain things. She was to prepare a photo album. She was supposed to bring grandchildren to come to visit you and a couple of other things, which she didn't do. And therefore, since she didn't fulfill her portion of the contract, you want your money back.
That's right.
Your daughter says that this money was given without stipulation and that you're just angry because your wife doesn't want to come back to you. Your wife left you, sir?
Yes, she does.
And this is your mother, I assume?
Correct.
And she's happy being without you and she doesn't want any part of you and therefore you're angry so you want this money back.
That's correct.
How long have you been married, sir?
43 years, August 31st.
And without asking you any more, you've had enough.
That's right.
You fulfilled your sentence.
Thank you.
Mr. Dollahan? Got it?
No, I don't.
So tell me about this $500 that you gave your daughter.
On April 14th of this year, my wife decided that she would begin talking to me after all efforts of reconciliation, trying to go to marriage counseling would not work. She said that she would start talking to me again, and she agreed that she would start dating me again, and as a result, I gave her $1,400 with no stipulation.
Okay.
That's my wife.
Okay.
The same day, I gave my daughter Karen $500 with stipulation.
And what did you say to her when you gave her the $500, and what did she say to you?
First of all, I thanked her for taking good care of my wife.
Okay.
And I said, I want you to have this money, but there are 3 things that I want from this. One is a family album to show that you're going to be part of my family again and let me be a father to the family, which you've never been able to do. The other stipulation was that she allowed me as a father to prepare a meal for her, her husband, and 2 daughters to come into my home so I could tell them as a father what I would like to see as a family reconciling.
Okay.
And the third one was take the money that I give you that is left over from the album. I want you to divide between the 4 of you.
Which 4?
Her husband and her 2 daughters.
So
the first of the next month, I talked to my wife on the phone again, and I asked her about if she had the album made for me, and she said no, because she'd been hauling the girls around too much.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I said, well, can I come by the house and pick up the album? My wife said, I don't think that's a good idea.
She said that there was no album. How could you pick it up if there was no album?
That's right.
Yeah.
She never did that.
Okay.
So then my wife decided to break off all communication with me, and as a result, because I didn't get what I asked for, I called up, and even though she wouldn't answer the phone, I left a message that I wanted the money returned. And she did not return the money.
Okay. Stanley, I'll hear you.
For one thing, there was never any photo album mentioned at all.
Look at me. What was mentioned? He handed you $500.
Right.
What did he say?
He says, well, here's $500 for taking such good care of your mom. And I says, I don't mind taking care of my mom. You know, she's my mom. I love her. I'd do anything for her. So to me, that was a gift.
Well, what did he say about photo?
He said, I would like to have a family picture. And I said, I don't have one. He says, well, he says, you've got money. He says, you can have one made. I didn't have a problem with that.
Good.
So,
what else? Did he say anything about bringing your family over to his house?
Not to his house. He says, I have something I want to tell your family. Because up to this point, he has never admitted that he was wrongdoing with my mom or anything. And he admitted that to my mom that day. He says, everything that has happened is my fault. And I was surprised to hear that.
Okay.
But 2 weeks later, I mean, I don't have a family that lives at home. So to get a family picture done in 2 weeks is a little bit impossible for us.
Okay. So what happened? So he called and said, where's the picture?
Conversations, he'd been calling and was not being very nice on the phone. So we quit answering the phone. If his number came up, we didn't answer the phone. 2 weeks later, one of the messages was, if you don't do what I want you to, you know, you just send the money back, baby. That was his words. I remember that.
All right. So what I'm getting, Miss Tinley, is minimally, in his head, he expected a family picture for this $500.
Right.
In his head. You have a picture of you at home?
I do.
You have a picture of your 2 daughters at home?
I do.
So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take the picture of you, the 2 girls, take them over to a drugstore where they have one of those machines where you put the pictures in and it makes a copy.
Right.
You're prepared to do that?
I can do that. I can do that at my home.
Perfect. I want you to do that. You're going to do that within the next 3 days.
I can do that.
And then you're going to send it to your father.
Okay.
That's what you're going to get, sir. Right?
That's right.
Great. Very good. And then she gets to keep the $500. But I know this is going to be difficult for you. But there'll be a time, sir, that I'm telling you, you're a very nice-looking man.
Thank you.
And you seem to have lots of personality. And you've got a little bit of zip in your step. Yet, right?
That's right.
You're going to find somebody who's just going to be crazy about you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Not her.
Not me.
Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Bye-bye.
He's already step out.
Well, I think it's pretty bad when a father takes his daughter to court when he's given her money for a gift.
My daughter is one of the main instigators of her leaving me.
This is it. No more. There will be no family getting back together.
I would like to see reconciliation with my wife, yes.
It's not going to happen.
I am changing.
Unfortunately, he's done too much.
This is the third time she's left me.
26-year-old master control operator Josh Ashcroft is suing his ex-fiancée, property manager Julie Skiles, for unpaid rent and bills. Julie is countersuing, claiming Josh stole her dog and rammed her Toyota MR2.
Yes, case number 220 on the calendar, the matter of Ashcroft versus Skiles. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Mr. Ashcroft, you and the defendant were engaged and living together. She moved out with 3 months left to go on a lease that I assume the two of you had signed together.
That is correct.
You want her to pay those 3 months' rent. The defendant says that your behavior forced her out of the apartment, and she is counterclaiming for damage that she says that you did to her truck, a whole bunch of money because she says you've been harassing her, and something about a dog. So let's start with when you moved in together and when you signed the lease.
Okay, like you said, we were engaged. We decided to both move in on a house.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a quick learn. I asked a question. When did you sign the lease? That requires a date, not a story.
We signed it in September of 2003, September 28th.
And when did you move in?
We moved in October 1st, I believe. Just a few
You have
days.
a copy of the lease?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. And what was your agreement with regard to paying for the expenses on this apartment?
We had came to a mutual agreement that we would both pay half.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How many people were supposed to live there?
Two, me and Julie were the only ones that were living in the house at the time when we first
And your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Monthly rent was $900.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you moved out when?
About June 15th.
Is that about right?
It sounds about right. I have the 25th. Wasn't very clear because she did not tell me when she was moving out. She had no intention. I did not have any information of her intention of moving out.
Sir. When did you wake up and find she wasn't there? What date?
Actually, it was I believe it was the 25th on a Friday when I came home for work and discovered that everything out of the house was gone.
Are you telling me that between the 15th and the 25th she was living there?
Is
not an answer.
No, ma'am. I don't believe she was. She would come home when I was at work and get her things and stuff.
I want to know when she moved out. The 15th or the 25th. Physically, her body, her person, not her property, her person. When did she move out?
I would say the 25th, Your Honor.
Who are you?
I'm his brother.
You have a name?
Jason Ashcroft, ma'am.
When did you move into the apartment?
I moved in around March, end of March, April.
So you were living in the apartment when they were living there. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How much rent were you paying?
I was paying $350 a month.
You still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what are we doing here? Seems nice to have a nice, honest brother, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She moved out June 15th. She moved out June 25th. What difference does it make? Your brother's living there. He's taking over the other part of the rent. So why are you suing her?
Well, because of the fact that there was no 30-day notice given. She was unemployed for 9 months, which meant that I needed to move in someone to help cover her part of the rent.
He moved in before, according to your brother. Is your brother lying? Your brother moved in, it says, in March. She moved out in June. March, April, May, June. That is right, isn't it?
I just needed someone to help cover the rent. I didn't want to be in default on my lease, so I had to move my brother in and help.
Good. And you did that. That's a good thing. So you're not out any money. So I don't know why you're bothering me, Mr. Ashcroft. You want to get to your counterclaim?
Yes, ma'am. Actually,
you gave the right answer, truthful answer. See how fast we resolve this?
Yes,
Because your
ma'am.
brother probably will want to take you outside and kill you with it. My problem. Let's deal with your counterclaim.
Okay.
Let's deal with your counterclaim, unless you want to say, listen, I don't want to get involved with this lady. I don't want to deal with her.
Oh, no.
Okay.
On June 15th, the day I moved out, he came home and rammed my car out the driveway with his truck.
Why did he do that?
Why did he do that?
Yeah.
You'll have to ask him. No, he wanted me to move my car, and I apparently didn't do it fast enough.
Listen to me. I want you to understand something. I'm not your friend. You have a whole host of friends. Are you related to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you her father?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Your father is your friend. You have friends. I'm not your friend. So when I say to you, why did he ram your car with his truck, there was a reason. The reason was he wanted you to move your car, and you weren't moving it fast enough.
Correct.
And you were having an argument with him.
Correct.
All right, there you go. You see? You've been around the block a few times and you understand things, so that he didn't just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to ram her car.
No. We were arguing. He had asked me at that time, told me that I needed to leave to move out of the house. Then he went to leave and my car was parked behind him.
How many times did he ask you to move your car?
One time. And then he went to his truck. I was getting my keys, heard his truck back out into my car, and he moved it himself.
Now, what happened with her car, sir?
I asked her repeatedly to move her car.
And what did she say to you?
She didn't say anything. There was no communication there whatsoever.
So she just ignored you?
Yes, ma'am. She ignored me.
And just to take your hands out of your pocket?
Yes, ma'am.
So, you asked her, you said, move your car, things are getting too hot.
Yes, ma'am. And
she was giving you the old passive-aggressive. She wasn't moving, she wasn't getting the keys, she wasn't getting this, So, you got into your car, and what did you do? Your truck?
She was parked a few feet behind my truck. As I was trying to get out, I tried to maneuver my truck to get out, and I accidentally hit her car.
Okay, so you understand that you have to fix that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have an estimate?
Yes.
What's the estimate?
I have two, both for $700, one 702, one 703.
Okay, $700. When you have a bad temper, that's what happens. What else?
Also, I would like to add his harassment. Also, on that day when he came home, he kicked in the bathroom door, pushed me against the wall, told me to leave. He calls my work, continuously harassing me.
What is he asking you for at work?
For money and
for money. Well, he's not going to
stop. Stolen property, Your Honor.
For a frying pan.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
A frying pan and a
Take your hands out of your pockets. This claim that you filed here has nothing to do with property. It had to do with rent. Now you're not going to call her anymore for money.
Excuse me, ma'am?
You're not going to call her anymore for money. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
You've litigated it, and you lost. We're just dealing now with her counterclaim. So don't bother her anymore. And your brother is going to tell you that he thinks that's a real good idea, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Ashcroft says ex-fiancée Julie Skiles broke their apartment lease. Julie says Josh's behavior forced her out of the home.
Now, he's not going to harass you anymore. Now, you want to tell me this story about the dog that you didn't get. What kind of a dog is it?
It's a boxer. And when we first split up, I was going to get the dog. He was going to give it to me. But then after the arguing and all that, he decided that he was going to keep the dog. I purchased the dog. He can keep it. That's fine. But I would like my money or the dog.
The purchase. You have the receipt for that?
Shh. Don't. Yes. Take your hands out of your pocket. How long have you had the dog?
July of 2003, a little over a year.
And where are you living now?
I live in an apartment now.
And where do you live?
I live in the same residence, a three-bedroom house.
And the dog has a yard?
Yes, ma'am.
So you would say that the dog is better off with him?
Yes, ma'am.
That's why you left the dog?
So, correct.
What do you want?
I want him to pay me the cash I paid for the dog.
You can't get that.
Okay. And I can't get the dog either?
Of course not.
No, the dog is happy where the dog is.
It's in the dog's well-being, I agree.
Take your hands out of your pockets and don't speak until you're spoken to, Mr. Ashcroft. So far, you don't get any money for him harassing you. He's not going to bother you anymore. You made him pretty mad if he hit your car with his truck. I don't know what the argument was about, nor do I care, quite frankly. I got enough to worry about my own arguments. He owes you $700 for the damage he did to your truck, because he did that because he was angry. And when you have a bad temper, you have to pay for that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So, your counterclaim in the amount of $4,150 for harassment, the dog, and the kitchen sink is resolved this way. He pays you $700 to get your car fixed. And you, instead of having this lovely damsel as a roommate, have your brother. Good luck to you both.
Yes, ma'am.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
was contractually obligated to pay the rent, the 12-month lease agreement that we both signed.
I don't owe him for rent. His brother is paying the rent.
The judge made a correct decision of leaving the dog where he belongs, and that's in the backyard of the house, not cramped up in some one-bedroom apartment.
I do think it's better for the dog.
I'm just glad it's all over with.
No more relationships for me.
And now the next case.
All parties.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sisson versus Chapman. Step forward, please.
Assembly worker Linda Sisson is suing her son's ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old banquet server Tessa Chapman, for the cost to fix her Chevy Cavalier. Tessa says the only reason she drove the vehicle was because Linda's son was drunk.
Ms. Sisson, the defendant is your son's former girlfriend.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she drove your car and had an accident.
Yes.
You want her to pay for the damage?
Yes.
When did the accident take place?
April 3rd, 2004 at 1 a.m.
You weren't there, is that right?
We were sleeping.
So you didn't see what happened?
No, I did not.
Okay, Ms. Chapman, and you say you're not responsible. Let me hear about it.
George Anderson and I were hanging out at his mother, Linda Sisson's house.
George Anderson is your son?
Yes.
A few hours later, George had asked me to drive to the store with him. While we were driving to the store, I realized he was intoxicated.
That is not true.
Shh, listen to me. I don't want you to say anything. You weren't there. I've asked her a question. Got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you and the plaintiff's son were hanging around at her home.
Right.
When had you arrived there?
Probably at like 10 o'clock around.
10 in the morning or 10 at night?
10 at night.
And where had you been before that?
My house.
So you drove over to his house?
No, he came and picked me up.
In whose car?
His mother's car.
When he came to pick you up and you got into the car, was he intoxicated?
No.
How long did it take you to get back to his house?
About 10 minutes.
And you went directly to his house?
Yes.
At what time did you go to the store?
Like 12:30.
Between 10 p.m. or 10:10 p.m. when you arrived back at George's house and 12:30 in the morning, what were you doing?
We were watching TV and we had a couple beers each.
Where did you get the beers from?
His house.
So each of you had a couple of beers. Is that right?
Yes.
And then about 12:30, who decided to go to the store?
George.
You say in your answer that the reason you were driving was because George was drunk.
Yes.
Not according to what you tell me now. According to what you tell me now, the two of you had a couple of beers.
He must have been.
He what?
There was another girl there named Stacy, and they were off in another room for a little while also, so they could have been drinking without
They could have been, and I could have been 5'6", but I'm not. So when he asked you to go to the store, and you said yes, you knew that you had been drinking.
Yeah.
And you knew that he had been drinking.
Yep.
At what point did you drive?
On the way home, back to her house.
Miss Sesson, I don't want you to say no unless you were there. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you weren't, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me about the accident.
We were driving back. The ride was fine on the way back, and we got back to the house, and I went to pull into the driveway. And in their driveway, there's a little metal pipe that sticks up, and you can't really run it over, so I was backing out to straighten up the car to pull into the driveway. And the cars on the road were parked very close to the driveway, and I accidentally scraped the other car.
Now, what makes you think you're not responsible?
Because I feel as though she's suing me because I broke up with her son.
That's possible. That she decided to sue you now because you broke up with her son. There was no longer a reason for her not to pursue this remedy. My question to you is, why don't you think you're responsible? That's her motive for suing you.
Because George was drunk and I wasn't drunk on the way back from the store, driving back.
Well, Miss Chapman, you had certainly, according to you, been drinking that night.
Yeah, but 2 beers in a course of 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
And that's all you told me you saw George drink.
But he was driving very recklessly on the way to the store.
Then you can get out of the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this?
That's my mother.
Do you live at home with your mother?
No, I live at my own house.
Do you get along with your mother?
Yes, but
Does she live in the same town that you do? Do you have other people that you know in town?
Mm-hmm.
So that if he was driving, according to you, recklessly on his way to the store, then you say, George, I'm not going to get back into the car with you. And you call a taxi to take you home. But if you get behind the wheel of her car and you have an accident and you've had alcohol that night, you're responsible. And the fact that she may not have pursued this matter while you were with her son, and now you're no longer with him because where is he? Drug rehab, he's in jail, where is he?
He's in rehab, getting treatment.
Good, I'm glad. How much was the damage to your car?
It was $1,300, which I had to pay a $500 deductible. And when I found out about the accident, the doorbell rang at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I don't care how you found out about the accident.
Well, she admitted to me, Tessa admitted to me that morning when I woke them up to find out what happened to my car, and she apologized because my son came out and told Tessa to tell me that he's not taking the rap because he didn't do the damages, and she did.
No, he's a prince.
And she did the damages.
He's a prince. How old is your son?
22.
How long has he had a drug problem?
Maybe about three weeks prior.
You're in denial, madam. What kind of work was he doing?
He was in and out of jobs.
Had he been arrested previous to his current rehab?
Yes.
For what?
For a stolen vehicle.
Yes. What else?
False identification.
What else?
Counterfeit money.
She doesn't get a free ride. She should not have gotten in the car with him. She should not have been driving that night. She is responsible for your out-of-pocket expenses. And if I had a kid who was in this much trouble, I would have taken my car keys and locked them up in a safe to make sure that he didn't use them. Right?
Yes.
Good. So, you got to pay her deductible, Miss Chapman. It's your responsibility. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
George is in a lot of trouble with rehab and jail and all that.
She told my son, I'm not going to pay your mother anything.
I told her to stay away from him.
I just broke all ties with him.
She's a much better person than that.
It's responsibility. She should have never.
Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree.
समाप्ति हो चुका है भाई हमारा गेम प्ले 17 किल के साथ।
Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree.
एक आगे हो चुका है हमारा वीडियो पसंद आए तो लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब।
Double kill. Triple kill. Quadra kill. Dominating. Unstoppable. Rampage. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree. Killing spree.
Okay, guys. ओपी गाइस ओपी गेम प्ले होता है ये चुप लगता ओपी हो चुका है भाई गेम प्ले ओके वीडियो 20 मिनट का होना चाहिए उसके बाद हम भी कट कर देंगे नहीं देख रहा ब्रो आ गया बंदी ओके यार अरे ब्रो कैसे मार रहा है यार ओके ओके हो रहा है ब्रो वीडियो पसंद आए तो लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर से कर देना एनिमी नहीं दिख रहा है यार
Double kill.
अरे एनिमी नहीं यार क्या कर रहा है
Double kill.
एनिमी नहीं मिल रहा अरे दो मारना है ये मार दिया चलो कोई बात नहीं देख लेंगे जो सबको देख लेंगे
Double kill.
सबको देख लेंगे
Triple kill. Quadra kill. Dominating. Unstoppable. Killing spree.
अरे ब्रो तो यार नुबड़ा है। मैं लैपटॉप के कर लूँगा।
Triple kill. Quadra kill. Dominating. Unstoppable. Double kill. Triple kill. Quadra kill.
ओके ब्रो, अब मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। आज के लिए इतना ही। आई लव यू।